Hello and welcome to the high school football MVCC Game of the Week presented by City Barbecue and Miami Valley Adapted Sports. It's week number 5, and that means we're getting ready to start conference play in the 2017 season. We're here at Holland Field in Miamisburg, Ohio. We're in an intense G-Walk battle between the 2-2 Troy Trojans and the 3-1 Miamisburg Vikings is about to happen. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jared Bergstrom alongside my partner Michael Sliger. It is 90 degrees here on the first day of fall.
And very, very humid.
It's a humid night for football. Michael, let's first see how did Troy stack up last week.
Last week the Trojans bounced back and picked up an easy 38-6 win over the Fairborn Skyhawks. The Trojans were led by junior running back Jaden Culp Bishop, who backed up a 211-yard rushing performance in Week 3 against Bell Fountain with a 194-yard rushing performance that night. Culp Bishop had nearly 95% of his total rushing yards in the last 2 games, something this Vikings defense is really going to have to look out for. What about the Vikings? How'd they do against the Wayne Warriors?
For the 4th straight year, the Vikings have gone into the game against Wayne with an undefeated record. And for the 4th straight year, the Vikings have come out of that game with a loss, or with the Warriors handing their first loss. The Vikings did keep it early interesting with the game being tied at 21.5, but the second half belonged to Wayne with 5 touchdowns of 20 or more yards, which helped the Warriors cruise to a 56-28 win. The Vikings need to shore up that passing defense if they want to get back on the winning track tonight. Michael, how about you go ahead and introduce us to Troy's head coach, Matt Bergbacher.
All right. So far, he's got a 2-2 record this year, 65-29 overall record. He previously was the head coach at Fort Laramie from 2009 through 2014. What do you know about the Vikings head coach?
Well, Steve Chanel, this is his 6th season with the Vikings, his 21st overall. His record this year is 3-1. He's 43-16 as Miamisburg's head coach, but an overall record, including his stint with Edgewood, 204 and 108. He was 2003 Division II state runner-up with Edgewood, and he coached Miamisburg to their first playoff win in school history last year.
Very nice.
Michael, what has to happen for the Troys to pick up another win on the road tonight?
Well, offensively, Troy needs to really hold on to the ball. So far, 7 turnovers this season so far. That is way too high. If Troy really wants to have a chance in this game, they've got to hold on to that football. They've got to keep third downs manageable. 12 out of 49 on this year is not very good at all so far in that perspective. Troy offensive line needs to get a better push on the ball if they want to be better on third down tonight. If not, the Vikings defense is really going to take control of this game pretty quick. They also need to keep giving Jaden Culp Bishop the ball. 95% of his total yards have come in the last 2 games. The last 2 games, he had 211 one game, 194 yards the next. If the Trojans want to have a chance in this game, they're going to have to feed the ball to Culp Bishop and watch him run. Defensively, they've got to watch out for the pass. Even though the Vikings are a very pass-heavy team, junior quarterback Tate Vongsi has the ability to throw deep on the outside to Tyler Johnson with success. So they'll have to watch out for that. Miamisburg 3 T's to success on defense: Tony Clark, Tyler Johnson, and Tate Vongsi. 3 pillars to Miamisburg's successful offense. Alone on any team, each of these players would be capable of being the star, but when they come together, they leave it all on the field for the Vikings. And with the 3 of them working together, they have defenses all over Southern Ohio in a fuss, trying to figure out who's going to get the ball and on which play. Jared, what have to happen for the Vikings tonight to get back on a winning track?
Offensively, they just got to keep working with what's working. Number 4 rushing offense in G-Walk, averaging nearly 306 yards a game on the ground and 7 yards a carry.
Wow.
The key to Miamisburg's successful running offense tonight is going to be this offensive line. If they can get up and push the Troy Trojans back a few yards on defense, that'll give Clark and Yerkins the ability to get into the open field and maybe be able to make the defenders miss. And defensively for the Vikings, all I think they got to do is just come out of the locker room. Besides one bad against Wayne last week, the Vikings are virtually flawless. So all the Vikings need to do is just show up tonight, and I believe that this game is going to be another easy win for the Vikings and build up confidence going into the final half of the season and beginning conference play.
Okay.
And now it looks like it's time for the predictions. Who do you think is going to win tonight and why, Michael?
I'm going to take Miamisburg. I think overall they just seem to be clicking a little bit better than what Troy is doing so far. Score-wise, so far this year, Troy has put up 88 points. Miamisburg put up 171. So they're leading, more than 2-1 on there. I think they've had better success overall. So I'm going to go with Miamisburg. How about you, Jared?
I'm going to pick Miamisburg too. Steve Chanel, I mean, he in the games that he has lost against Wayne, he is 4-0 following the loss against Wayne. Last week the Vikings lost to Wayne. I think they're going to cruise to an easy win tonight and keep that momentum going.
Okay.
So it looks like the band is about ready for the national anthem, so we'll toss it down there, and we'll be back after that. All right, a great rendition of the national anthem by the Miamisburg Vikings band. As they clear the field, we are ready for week number 5 in our City Barbecue Game of the Week.
All right. Hot, sticky night down here in Miamisburg, Ohio, but starting to get a little bit of shade on the field now, so hopefully we're going to have a great night. We've got a good Miamisburg crowd here. Some more people from Troy starting to show up, and should be ready for kickoff in just a little bit.
Troy won the opening coin toss and deferred to the second half, so Miamisburg will receive the ball in the blue tops and white uniform, or white bottoms, and they will be moving from left to right on your screen.
Got some other stats from the season so far for the Troy Trojans. 2016, they finished the season 10-2. Part of the GWalk American North Division. Quarterback Sam Coleman, currently this year's number 15 in GWalk in the passing category. 29 of 76 for 361 yards, averaging 90.3 yards per game. He has 3 TDs, but 4 interceptions. Running back Jaden Colt Bishop, number 7 rusher in GWalk, 72 yards for 472 runs for 484 yards, averaging almost 7 yards per carry. Is averaging about 121 yards per game. He also has 4 TDs. Running back Shane Shoup, 17 runs for 108 yards, averaging just over 6 yards per carry. Wide receiver Matt McGilvery, 9 catches, 152 yards, averaging nearly 17 yards a reception. He has 1 touchdown. For the Miamisburg Vikings, the Vikings actually beat Troy twice last year. Once in the regular season, then once in the playoffs. So I'm sure Troy is going to want to kind of avenge those losses. Right now, Miamisburg Vikings tied for first in their part of the conference in the GWalk. They beat Troy twice last year, 21-17 during the season, and then 28-21 in the playoffs. Miamisburg 2016 went 10-3. The only team they lost to in the playoffs was LaSalle, who ended up winning the Division II championship. So not too shabby at all. The only team that knocked out of the playoffs was the eventual champ.
And John Yerkins takes the opening kickoff out to the 30-yard line, where the Vikings will start this drive. And about that regular season game last year between the Vikings and Trojans, Miamisburg won that game on with 8 seconds left on a touchdown pass to Johnson.
Okay. And that was in Troy, I
Yep.
believe, too, yeah. So disappointing loss for the home team there. Tate Bongsey, quarterback for the Vikings right now, is ranked number 12 in the passing category for GWalk. 30 of 47 for 537 yards, passer rating of 207.5. He's got 8 TDs, 2 interceptions, averaging 134 yards per game. And off comes to the near side.
Tony Clark will get back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. And 33 with a tackle for the Trojans.
John Weirkamp.
Burton in on the stop. Second down.
Second and 10 at the 30 still. Running backs for Miamisburg, Tony Clark, currently listed number 10th in GWalk. 60 runs for 462 yards, averaging 7.7 yards. 9 touchdowns, averaging about 116 yards per game. Another running back, John Yerkins, 42 rushes for 263 yards, averaging just over 6.3 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, almost intercepted, but out just out of the reach to intended
like
number 16, Jackson Myers.
Wide receiver for the Vikings, Tyler Johnson, 16 catches, 234 yards, just below 15 yards average per reception. He also has 5 touchdowns. Defensively for the Vikings, got a couple of really good, well-performing guys here. Carter Brown, 4.5 sacks and 7 tackles, and that's only in 3 games that he's played so far this season. And Dylan Woodkey, 2.5 sacks, 24 tackles in 4 games.
And
so
that's
doing pretty well there.
It's interesting to see how good the Vikings are on defenses. They lost 3 of their 5 starting linemen are playing D1 now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Vauncey
Quarterback under pressure.
is
and
brought down for about an 8-yard loss on the play, it looks like, by number 42 of the Trojans, Christian Nation.
Progress looks like they're going to mark him down at the 25, so they'll only give him a loss of 5.
Okay.
Where he was initially wrapped up.
Not a good opening set by the Vikings.
No, 4th and 15.
You see here in the City Barbecue replay. Look,
Okay,
that
yeah,
could have been a holding on number 55 for the Vikings.
Had a couple guys defensively for Troy, just went right around the offensive line and were able to wrap him
snap.
up from both sides.
Good punt.
Fielded at the 36-yard line by number 2 for Troy. That's Derek McDonough. And McDonough runs out to just about near the 40. Grant Smith looks like he made the tackle. 6'1", 180-pound junior.
Smith on the stop for the Vikings. Be first down, Trojans.
We've got 1st and 10 from the Troy 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Trojans to start their first drive of the game.
Miamisburg had the ball for a minute 2, roughly, just about a minute, and then a couple seconds knocked off for the kick return. 16 in motion, going up toward the top of your screen. Quarterback in shotgun. And now they're going to look to the side to get the play called in.
Play clock is to 10. It is a handoff to
middle.
Colt. Is that Colt Bishop? I believe number 8. Yep.
Bishop, the
Yeah.
ball carrier.
He went right up the middle, got tripped up right at the line, but kind of flew forward for about another 3 yards. So got about a 3, maybe 4-yard gain on there. That looks like they'll spot it for about a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 at the 44.
And another handoff to Bishop. Bishop met in the backfield.
And just back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there.
Colt Bishop, the ball carrier.
Looks like we had number 62, Kyle Cardenas, kind of leading the tackle there for the Vikings.
Actually, a 1-yard
Looks like,
loss
yeah,
is
loss
what
of
the
a
ref
yard.
says.
Yep, 3rd and 7 now. Yeah, well, we mentioned that they were going to have to watch for that Colt Bishop, the running back. And so far, the last couple plays, they've definitely watched for him and been right there to put a stop. Pass comes to the near side, intended for number 3, but overthrown. That was for Zach Boyer. But the pass was about 5 or 8 yards longer beyond the reach of the receiver's hands. So, another quick out.
Yeah, not a good really way to start the game for either team.
No.
Miamisburg a total of 5 yards negative in the hole, and Troy's only been able to gain 3 so far. Looks like Tyler Johnson's back deep to receive the punt for the Vikings. He's standing at about his own 25.
Now the punter for Troy, Tusker Rasky, 19 punts so far this year already, 691 yards. So he's actually had a really good time. Ball's fielded at the 27-yard line.
With a fair catch for the Vikings.
19 punts, 691 yards. So he's averaging 36.4 yards per punt. His longest punt so far this season, 57 yards. So that's a nice kick.
He maybe late in the game he can flip field position.
Yeah. He's only had 1 touchback on his punt so far, and 7 of them have landed and have been spotted right inside the 20. So a good season so far.
Yeah, Miamisburg might want to get more pressure on him to punting then. If not, they're going to have a long field ahead of them each play.
Vauncey under center. Hands off up the middle.
I believe that is Yerkins with the carry, number 23. Nope, number 24, Clark.
And he gets about 3 yards. So it'll make it 2nd and 7 at the 30.
And 36 with the tackle, Joa
Schricker
Schricker.
on the stop. 2nd down, Vikings.
There's just a
Well, there's some pushing and shoving between
Yeah, a little
67 and 77.
Yeah, Gage Forsyth and who do we have here?
67 Gullet.
Cody Gullett, yeah. So we'll see how that develops throughout the game tonight. Definitely both guys wanting to kind of put their mark on the other at the beginning of the game, kind of set the tone for the rest of the
If you look down here at the bottom of the screen, Coonley, oh, never mind. Yerkins gets the pitch to the outside from Vongzi, and Yerkins has enough for maybe a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Let's see where they spot it.
Knocked out of bounds by Boyer.
Now the ref on the far side looks like he's marking it back at the 35.
But the ref on our close side was at the 37, 38.
Yeah. But I think the guy, he was over there, he had a better view to see where he actually stepped out of bounds across the line. There you see him going up at the top of the screen.
Yep,
And yeah, right there at
yep.
the 35, he steps on the line. So nice spot by the referee. So that's going to make it 3rd and 2 from the 35-yard line.
This is where I've seen Tate Vongzi will line up in shotgun or line up right under center and power through on a QB sneaker. But actually, he'll hand
Hands
off
off
to
up
Clark.
the middle and has it. That's number 24, and that's Clark carries the ball, picks up the first down and about 2 more. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Blake Burton with the tackle for the Trojans. And finally, a first down.
There you go, yeah. Number 13, Tyler Johnson, coming in to help out with Miamisburg's offense, along with number 9. Vongzi comes back in. Looks like he got the play from the sideline. Comes back in, gives it to him quick in the huddle, and right up to the line everybody goes.
Oh, yeah, the play clock's already down to 5. Ooh.
Handoff goes up the middle
Yerkins.
again,
Yerkins, the ball carrier.
and he gets about another 6 yards. Oh, maybe 7. That's a weird spot. 7 yards. Picked up 7. So you got 2nd and 3rd at the 46.
Number 23, Shane Shoup with the tackle.
Just got him by the shoe.
Tyler Johnson checks out of the game for the Vikings.
2nd and 3 at the 46. Vongzi under center.
Clark
Hands the ball
gets
up the middle
carry.
again.
And nope, there's a flag on the far
side.
It looks like it's a first down depending
Yeah,
on what the
very
penalty
close.
is.
Burton and
Very close to where they needed to go to it.
False start against Miamisburg. Will
Bring him
back
back
him up
5
5.
yards and repeat 2nd down. So now we've got 2nd and 8.
remains second down.
You would think Miamisburg will come up with some like card calling system so Vongzi doesn't have to run from the far side of the field back to the sideline and back.
It's going to get worn out just running back and forth to the sideline to the coaches.
I'm getting tired watching him. I mean, I guess it's a good time killer. I mean, play clock's already down to 10.
Always a nice field to come down to, too. I know this is a newer field here in the Miami Valley, here at Holland Field. You know, replacing the old, we have a flag at the snap on the near side.
Vongzi
and flag
pulls
on the
it
far
down.
side. Play's still going. Vongzi runs to the far side again.
He has a
Takes
first
45,
down.
40. And
I
I think
think
it's all going to come back.
There's a flag on the play.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe let's see if we can see anything.
Not sure if there were 2 men in motion. Looks like from the view on the replay, 24 might have started moving to the far side as they had the receiver coming to the near side.
Let's
So I'm
see
not
if
sure. But penalty is against Miamisburg. That moves the ball back to the 36-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 13 from the
Receiver penalty on
36.
the Vikings.
Just a false start. All that for a false start.
Yeah. Anyway, so like I was saying, kind of Holland Field, you know, replacing the old Harmon field here in Miamisburg. So, you know, beautiful new facility located right behind Miamisburg High School. So it's nice that they were able to get everything together and get this field built pretty quickly from the
Yeah.
time they announced that they wanted to do it until everything was all in place, and have had the last couple seasons down here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be its second full season added. And another
we have
false
flags
start.
again.
Too many men in motion. That'll be 2nd and 20, I believe. 2nd 18.
I have a hunch that might get mentioned in the locker room at halftime, if not before then.
I was about to say, I don't think they're going to make it till halftime. You're going to see him call a timeout just to get him over and yell at him.
Vongzi again here on the just below the bottom of your screen talking to the coaches. Now heading back in. See him coming back into the screen now. bringing in the play. Play clock at 12 and running.
See if we can get
Vongsi
a
under center.
snap off without movement early.
One man in motion there. They got the play off.
Vongsi
Passing
going
intended
deep
for
to
15.
Coonley incomplete, but it looked like 22.
Yeah, Kobe Feltner.
Tugged
Looked
on
like
his arm.
a little bit of, I think so. He kind of wrapped him up and more
Or at
than
least
just a little bit of bumping
impeded
there.
his progress.
I think so. But no flag on the play. The referee was kind of right there behind it. And Miamisburg's coach is kind of questioning why there was no flag on that play. But from his viewpoint, and it looked like even ours, looks like Feltner kind of had a little bit more hold on him than what he should have.
Now
The ball was probably a little bit long regardless, but
that's what you never know.
yeah, the touching probably didn't help at all.
Third down and long. 3rd and 18 from the 31. They have to get to the 49 for a first down.
Vongsi under center again. Looks back to pass. He's under pressure.
And
Throws
he
it into the
throws it at the
ground
feet
behind the line.
Of John Yerkins.
Pass goes incomplete.
That looks like, is that number
36 got the pressuring, got the sack on him. Joe Schricker.
And now we'll see number 26, Colin Dillon on for a second punt of the game. Number 2 for the Trojans, Derek McDonough, is standing at his own 34-yard line. Punt is away. High booming
long punt, yeah.
And it
Ball
bounces
lands
at
at
the
the 32, takes a big bounce, and goes out of bounds, let's say at about the 17. We'll see where the official spot is at. Looks like they're going to mark it somewhere between the 17 and the 18. So a nice long punt.
Yeah, I think Dillon was standing at his own 20 when he did that. 20, so
30 yards,
30, 40,
almost a
50,
60-yard net
60,
punt. So nice result there. So the Trojans take over 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line, just behind the 18-yard mark. Ray Stara there, the center for Troy. Quarterback Coleman's in shotgun. One runner in the backfield.
Bishop, I believe.
Yep. Looks like now they're looking off to the side to get the play called in. Hoping that the Vikings will jump offside a little bit, give them some free yardage. Takes a snap, hands off to Bishop. Bishop comes to the near side, finds a little bit of a gap, and picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Tripped up, I think, on the play. Looks like it might have been Colby Maxwell, number 84.
Gain of about, 6 on the play? 5. 2nd and 5. Bishop gets the carry again. Bishop
finds a little bit of a gap. Wrapped up by number 16, Jackson Myers.
Cole Bishop, the ball carrier.
That's the cousin to Josh Myers, the lineman here that had a great career up at Ohio State now. Oh,
Got about another 3 yards. Looks like they've got about a yard, maybe a yard and a half to go. And there in the background, you hear the Viking horns trumpeting across the land.
3rd and 1. And now here come the cowbell mirage. Bishop gets the carry up the middle. Moving to the outside, and he might have enough for a first down.
I think he's got it, yeah.
Yep, out
he's
to
got
the
it by
30.
about a yard extra. He's out just shy of the 30-yard line. They only had to go about to the 28 and a half or so.
First down, Troy.
'84 there. Spencer.
See, Klopfenstein moves up to be a blocker. And then Bishop moves back behind, who's at number 61, Drew Smith as well, helping open up the gap. Pass
Coleman
across the middle, picked off
intercepted.
by number 3, Matt Jablonski. Jablonski goes to the far side, 20,
And he
10,
has a
15, 10, 5,
touchdown.
and touchdown for the Vikings.
There's a flag on the far sideline, I think.
There's a flag right on the 20-yard line. Jablonski saw the ball, got right in front of the receiver, picked it off, just kind of dropped his hands down low, picked it up, scooped it, and went around the far side and like a shot into the end zone. Let's see if on the replay if we can if we'll be able to see what the penalty is. It's going to be right back about where the line of scrimmage is. A block in the back, looks like right there. I think they're going to call a block in the back, but we'll have to see what the official call is in just a moment. Block below the knees against Troy.
It'll be enforced on the kickoff, it looks like.
Wow. So the one I was looking at wasn't even the penalty.
So the Vikings score on a 30-yard pick six by Matt Jablonski. Dillon on to kick the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. The Vikings lead 7-0 with 5:33 left in the first quarter of our MVCC Game of the Week.
7, the Troy Trojans 0.
Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by the Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Kettering, Fairmont, West Carrollton, and Miamisburg High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcast of this game and other games throughout the season.
Also, if you're on social media, go to mvcc.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in the conversation using the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay.
It'll be interesting to see how each of these teams come out now with Miamisburg having a little bit momentum in their favor.
Right. Yeah, there the ref just motioned that the block below the knees penalty is being assessed on the kickoff. So the ball's going to be moved back.
Up.
Yeah,
up
moved
to the 40.
up to the.
There was a penalty on the PAT. That's why this second, that's what this is from.
So now
So
there were two penalties, one on the pick six and one on the PAT. So the kick is now going to be made after the big yardage is marked off. The ball's going to be spotted on the Troy 30-yard line. So Miamisburg is kicking off there already on the 30-yard line of Troy.
I go for an onside. Why not?
Yeah,
Get to
it's
the
not going
20.
to hurt you anything. So let's watch. This is interesting. I've never seen anybody
Maybe
have
that's
the
what
ball moved
Coach
up.
Chanel is asking, if he can onside it.
And I think if it's a kickoff, they've always got that option, don't they? Is there any reason that would prohibit them from doing that?
I don't. In high school, can you kick off or onside on a penalty?
I don't know.
I've never seen the
it's-
ball
it's-
kicked off from
it's-
the 30 either.
Yeah, it's still a kickoff. So, but the ball is spotted on the 30-yard line. There you can see where the two refs are standing at the bottom of the field, right at the 30. The ball's on the far hash mark, right on the 30-yard line, just below where the Troy team is at. Now there's timeout called by Miamisburg.
I can tell you right now, Colin Dillon's kickoff percentage is going to improve greatly on this
Yeah.
one. If he can pin one down inside the 10.
But, yeah, they could, if they easily try for the onside kick, if they can recover it, they're in great field position. If they don't recover it, they
It's
haven't given up
like
any
a
more field
touchback.
position than what they would have on a typical kickoff. So, an interesting situation here. So, I don't think we've ever had this during the game of the week.
I've never seen this. First time for everything.
Yeah.
Man, that eclipse at the beginning of the summer really messed everything up.
Timeout by the Vikings.
So now out of the Vikings timeout, let's
5:33 left on the clock. Vikings lead 7-0. They're going to kick off from the Troy 30.
Colin Dillon set to kick off for the Vikings.
looks like no, actually number 18, Brandon Barr on to kick off for the Vikings. It looks
They've
like.
switched it, yeah. So Barr lines up, just
It
gives
is-
a little squib. Oh, it's only gone 5 yards, and it's going sideways, and it's going to roll back and only go about 2 yards, down by number 8, John Gebhardt. So
A
the
kickoff,
kickoff
of,
netted about 2 yards. So that would definitely hurt somebody's percentages and stats if it was the regular kicker there, but something different. So even after the the new play. I don't know what else to call it there. Troy's going to get the ball at their own 28-yard line, so they're in average field position for where they typically would receive a kickoff from and run it back to. 1st and 10 from the 28 for the Trojans.
Number 84, Klopfstein comes in motion, and that is fumble
Bishop
on the ball.
has the ball, comes to the 35, the ball pops out,
And Miamisburg
and it looks like
recovered it.
Miamisburg's got it. Miamisburg recovers at their own 35-yard line.
I don't believe that was Bishop with the ball. It looked like number 20, maybe. That is
23, Shane Shoup. So Shoup carried the ball, and number 2 comes up with it.
Cameron.
That's Cameron Kirkpatrick
Look,
for the Vikings. So Kirkpatrick got the ball. Looks like he got his arm in there and helped rip it loose, and then just wrapped it up and laid on his back and held on for dear life.
now it looks like all momentum's on Miamisburg's side. Fumble recovery, pick 6.
Yeah,
2 forced turnovers already in the game.
and a 2-yard kickoff. Just to round it out. So 1st and 10 at the Troy 35-yard line for the Vikings.
And we're not even out of the first quarter.
Right. 5:25 still to go in the first quarter.
Yerkins
Handoff
gets
up
the
the middle.
carry.
And he's going to gain
No, there's
about
a
2 or
flag.
3. Oh, flag on the far side.
False start against the Vikings.
Yep.
Might set the record for false starts tonight against
Wow.
one team, too. That's already 4, I believe.
They've had more false starts than they've had offensive possessions. So,
Yeah, this is their 3rd offensive possession. So 1st and 15 from the 40.
yep, right on the 40. Ball's on the near hash mark.
Not that far for Vongzi to run. You see Yerkins is directly behind Vongzi and Clark's at the top.
Yep. Yerkins gets the ball, finds a little bit of a gap, and only moves about 1.5 yards, maybe only 1 yard. They're going to spot him right about the 39-yard line, maybe just inside the 39-yard line. Oh, no, not even that far. So just outside the 39, so he didn't even quite gain 1 yard. Just at 5 minutes left to go in the first period. And now as we get a little bit later in the evening, temperature's starting to drop just a little tiny bit. Maybe it's just the breeze picking up, but feeling a bit nicer out here now, not quite so humid as it was before.
Yerkins on a pitch to the outside, and I don't think he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
No, I think he lost 1 yard or 2. He's back probably at about the 42, so it looks like he lost 2 or 3 yards on the play. Yeah, ball spotted at the 42, so it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 17 from the 42.
Shane Shoup with the tackle for the Trojans. 3rd and 17.
Play clock at about 13. Vongzi comes in with the play. At least when he calls the play in, they get up to the line quick, so they don't waste much time there. Pass across the middle.
And that one's
Picked off.
intercepted. And I think this one has potential to go the distance. And he's actually pushed out by number 23, John Yerkins.
Was that Crawford, 31, that had it?
Number 3 for the Trojans with the
Oh,
pick.
sorry, Zach Boyer.
That's what happens when you just try to throw a little lob pass. Intended to number 24, looked
Yeah,
like
Tony
Clark.
Clark. And the ball wasn't near Clark at all, so yeah, Boyer was able to step right in, get the ball, and make a nice return on the interception. And they are down to, let's see, the ball spotted on the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 15 for the Trojans. Now they got to reset the chains. They lined up a little bit wrong on there. Colt Bishop has the ball. He zags.
He's
Gets
down
back to the 10. Picks up 5 yards.
Tackled by 3 by Jablonski.
Jablonski. It looks like he might have had
Official stoppage.
Yerkins, 23. Looks like he might have been helping out on that tackle as well.
We have an
Tony Clark checks in for Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. Johnson's kind of looks like he may have an equipment issue or something, or might be bleeding on his ear the way he's motioning to his ear. Typically, if they're bleeding, they'll send him off. The refs will send him off the field to get medical attention real quick before they can come back out. Yeah, it looks like one of the trainers is looking at him on the sideline now, but doesn't look to be too serious. Run up the middle.
Quarterback keeper looked like he was following the block by Bishop.
He's going to be down to right about the 5. And the ref on the far side is motioning that it's first down. First and goal at the 5.
Kyle Kanders.
Now, watch here at the end, though. He extends the ball out about the 5.
It looked like his knee was down, though, before that.
But he may just want to tuck that ball a little bit. They don't want to take a chance losing that ball inside the 5-yard line. Bishop has the ball and gets down to just inside the 4-yard line, gaining about a yard and a half. So Chase Nutter, 62, helping make that tackle, along with 48, Zach Schwash. So we've got second and goal, looks like from about the 4-yard line. Coleman in shotgun.
That's number 5 behind him now, Sam Jackson.
Right up through the middle. And Jackson went 4 yards in, right through the line. And no flags.
Almost untouched.
Yeah. I think they touched him a little bit, but he had enough momentum, enough steam going in. He just pushed right on through and went 4 yards into the end zone.
He had a pick 6 in that playoff game last year against the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Now he's making his known defensively or offensively on a 5-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, 4 or 5. There you see him get the ball and goes right up through the middle. Troy lines up for the PAT.
Looks high snap.
Ball's down, kick is up.
And good.
And it looks like it's good.
So a 2:22 left. Troy ties it up on a 5-yard touchdown run by Sam Jackson. So it's 7-7, nearing the end of the first quarter in our City Barbecue Game of the Week. Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or MVCC.net. Use the hashtag City Barbecue Replay. Also go to MVCC.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in on the conversation using hashtag City Barbecue Replay or hashtag MVCC Game of the Week. Check out MVCC.fans for real-time live scores of our MVCC Game of the Week games. Engage now at MVCC.net or .fans.
So this week we're doing the Troy at Miamisburg game. Week 6 next week. Miamisburg at Fairmont. Week 7, Springboro at Miamisburg. Week 8, Oakwood at Valley View. And then the final 2 weeks of the season are both going to be at Centerville. Fairmont versus Centerville, and then Beaver Creek at Centerville.
I can't wait until that. There we go on the screen. That Week 8 game, Oakwood Valley View, always is an interesting one.
In what way?
Oh, it always goes to that. Seems like it goes down to the final play.
Yeah.
Last year, Oakwood was down 21 points in the fourth quarter and lost going for it on 2 on the final play of the game to go for the win. But it'll be interesting this year. Both teams are so far undefeated.
Okay.
So that could actually be a playoff potential. One team might go home, one team might not make it.
Short kick from Troy, fielded at the 30-yard line.
I thought I saw the fair catch symbol. And I think the ref saw it too. Maybe let's see if...
He waved everybody off.
I wouldn't say that's a fair catch. That's telling everybody to get away.
I think he was telling his other players to move away, that he had the catch, but I think the ref took it as the fair catch signal, the way he moved his arms.
He might still be running if it didn't stop him.
Yeah. And I think he was kind of waving his arms to the side rather than raising his arms to signal fair catch, but enough of an up and down motion that the ref signaled fair catch and called a stop to the ball. So 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line for the Vikings.
See how Vongsi composed himself after the pick he just threw.
Run up the middle and gain of almost 5.
Yerkins with the ball carry there. 36 with the tackle for the Trojans. Joa
Schricker.
All right. Need a pronunciation sheet. Looks like 42 checks into the game for the Vikings. That is...
I don't have a 42 on my roster, yeah.
All right. He checked in for Jackson Myers.
2nd and 5 at the 35.
Play clock at
Vongsy under
5.
center.
Vongsy hands off to Yerkins again. Yerkins will have a first down and maybe plus more.
And that 42 that came in made a nice block to open up the gap for the runner.
Player to be named later.
Yeah. We'll check out as soon as we can, try and get a name to match up along with number 42. All right, so we've got 1st and 10 at the 42.
Yerkins with the carry up again, and he's still
Stays
going.
on his feet and
Gain
picks
of
up
5?
gains
4.
about 3. They were at the 42, got out to the 45. It looks like he only gained about a yard, but was able to stay on his feet. There you see he
He's
survives
hit
the initial
it,
contact, stays up, and it takes about 3 more guys to finally bring him down. So it'll make it 2nd and 7 right on the 45.
42 checks out of the game now. That's low center of gravity to be able to take a hit like that and not go down.
So Jackson Myers brings the play in this time. Did make Vongsy run back and forth this time, so gives him a little
Let's
bit
send
of
a
a break.
fresh legs out there.
Yeah.
39 seconds left in the first quarter. This could be the
under
last.
center, hands off the ball, coming to the near side.
That's Tony Clark's spin move down close to the 50, maybe the 48.
And he picks up probably about 6 yards on the play. He's going to be right out to the 48-yard line. So that'll make it 3rd and 4 from the 48.
And Miamisburg does not have to snap the ball if they don't want to. And I think Tyler Johnson and the coach are calling them over. So that'll be the last play of the first quarter in our MVCC City Barbecue Miami Valley Adapted Sports Game of the Week.
Thank you again to City Barbecue and Miami Valley Adaptive Sports for your sponsorships.
A very interesting first quarter.
Yes, started out a bit slow, but then a couple interesting situations to perk it up a little bit after that with the pick six.
Pick six,
and then
fumble.
The penalties and
kickoff from the 30. So, tonight's MVCC Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information. We remind you, if you're going to be at any of our next games of the week, you can post your pictures and tag us in it at MVCC_net. And use the hashtag City Barbecue Replay or MVCC Game of the Week.
Okay, gotta go. Bye.
So it'll be 3rd and 4 from the 48 coming to start the second quarter. Now that each team has a quarter under their belt, let's see if teams start to settle down a little bit and get into their normal play calling. Tate Vongsy under center, and it looks like Tony Clark's going to be, or no, that's Yerkins that's going to be right behind him.
Oh, now we see T-shirts flying up into the stand with a little launcher.
That's a
Popped
launcher?
yeah, they've got
I was about to say, that cheerleader needs to join the football team.
Yeah, a little surgical tubing launcher there, throwing the T-shirts up into the stands. All right, so the teams have switched sides, so Miamisburg is moving right to left across your field now. Pass comes to the near side.
Just through the hands of Tyler Johnson. So it'll be 4th and 4. Or is it 3rd and 4?
Should be 4th and 4 now.
Yeah,
4th and 4 at the 48. Yeah, just a bit low. Johnson tried to get there, but just not quite able to get there quick enough or get low enough
I think
to get the
Vongsy,
ball.
a little bit of pressure on that blind side. He had to hurry up and get rid of it. Maybe not letting Johnson run his route fully.
Looks like Noah Bell, I think.
26, Colin Dillon back to
Colin
punt.
Dillon there.
Is that Bishop back to return the kick for the Trojans? I need a pair of binoculars. High, booming kick.
Fielded right at the 15-yard line.
Made a couple people miss and out to the 21. Looks like number 64 with the tackle, Ethan Fisher.
And McDonough got the ball right at the 15, and he comes out to, looks like the ball spotted on the 20. So about a 5-yard return on the play. No, it looks like at the 21, so going to give him a 6-yard return. 1st and 10 from the 21 for the Trojans.
Dylan Grimm. 42 is Dylan Grimm. Okay. Yep.
Bishop with the carry up the middle. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Bishop, the ball carrier.
That's about it.
Myers in on the stop. 2nd down, Trojans.
Jackson Myers, number 16, making the tackle on that play. There you see Jackson in the middle, starts to cut back to the inside, or move to the inside, cuts back when he sees the runner shift out, and is able to make this turn and wrap him up, bring him down. Handoff up the middle.
Bishop
to
carried
Bishop.
again, and Bishop maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of
he's
1.
got a yard or two, not much at all.
The ball carrier.
62 was in on it. 23 was
So far, the Vikings are watching out for him and really keeping him at bay so far early
Right.
in this game.
Cardenas in on the stop.
As you mentioned at the beginning of the game, that's one thing they've really got to watch for, and they've definitely put the pressure on him. They know where to watch so he doesn't pick up as many yards as he has the last couple seasons, or last couple games, I mean.
Coleman
Looking to
back
pass,
to pass,
looking
throws
to the
a-
far side and throws it long, incomplete. Oh,
Incomplete. There's a flag on the play.
Let's see
we
what
have
the
a flag
is.
back on the far sideline about the 34-yard line.
I think the ref signaled holding against Miamisburg.
See what the official call will be.
Holding against Miamisburg.
Yep, so that brings the ball out to, looks like the 33-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down. So Trojans have 1st and 10 from their own 33.
1st down, Trojans.
First down via the penalty.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
Well,
Still might see stuff yet to amaze us in this game. If you
well,
look,
the kickoff at the 30 was pretty interesting.
maybe if we see one go backwards tonight.
Yeah.
Look at the separation. I don't know if that's number 11 right there in the middle of this. Oh, that was 84 in the slot.
Pass goes to 16, complete. That's Matt McGilvery. McGilvery moves out to, looks like the 38-yard line, picks up about 4 yards.
If we could see a replay, watch in number 84 of the Trojans. He takes 2 steps and makes a hard right.
So kind
On a
of
wide
down at the
receiver
bottom of your screen, yeah. See as the play
Oh,
develops.
right there.
Yeah, he goes and moves to the outside to try and set up a block. Looks like the pass is a little bit too far back for him to really have developed much of a block. Run goes up the middle again, and they're going to lose about a yard on the run.
Coleman with the carry there, quarterback keeper.
Yeah, and he gets brought down at the 36. Yeah, they lost a yard on the play. So that's going to make it 3rd and 8 from the 36.
3rd and 7. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Bishop behind Coleman. Middle receiver from the top comes down. Closer.
Pass looks like he's going across the middle to 16 again, complete.
First down out to the 47, it looks like.
He gets shoved out of bounds by number 20, Connor Harden, senior.
1st down, Trojans.
Receiver goes out at the 47-yard line, so that's enough for a 1st and 10.
1028.
See here in the replay, he was at the top of the screen and runs all the way down to the bottom. And just enough speed to get the first down.
Yep.
Bishop
Run up
with
the
a
middle.
carry.
Bishop has a gap. He's across 40,
2 broken
35.
tackles and finally corralled.
Goes down at the 32,
30.
looks like. See where they spot him. They're going to mark him at the 30. He
Bishop
fell forward
finally-
and nobody else to tap him down.
Bishop finally a decent run, being really held at bay until that tackle or
Yeah.
until that run.
Found a nice gap up the middle, exploited it, and moved down deeper into Miamisburg territory. 1st and 10 at the Vikings 30. 16 in motion. Pass across the middle to a wide open receiver. That looks like number 84. And that is Spencer Klopfenstein. He is wide open and just trots right into the end zone untouched.
Watch this broken coverage
You'll
by
see the receiver
Vikings.
top of your screen moving over to the right. There's no one around him for another 5 or 8 yards. Grabs the ball and just trots right in.
I was waiting for him to like, oh, I'm wide open. Should I be catching the ball? Looks like number 15, Brandon Seiler, on the kick for the Trojans. The extra point. High snap, kicks up, and good. So Troy now leads 14-7 over Miamisburg with 8:50 left in the first half.
Troy Trojans 14, Miamisburg Vikings 7.
Looking at Troy's season so far, week 1 they started out with a 48-0 loss against Trotwood, or at Trotwood. Then they bounced back. Week 2, a 28-6 win over Xenia. Week 3 they lost 30-22 at Bell Fountain. Week 4, or last week, they played Fairborn at home and won 38-6. They're playing Miamisburg right now for week 5. Next week they're at Tippecanoe. Week 7 they're home for Butler. Week 8 they're at Sydney, and then they're home for the final 2 games, Greenville week 9 and senior night Piqua week 10.
And all 5 conference games, the last 5 games of the year, all their conference games back to back. So we'll see how they end up doing there. So they've got the first 5 games, kind of get warmed up and ready for the conference play, and see how it works out for them.
Right, and you're getting warmed up. You got Trotwood, Bell Fountain, and Miamisburg.
So Miamisburg, the remainder of the season, this week or tonight, versus Troy here at home. Next week they're going to be playing at Fairmont. 2 games home, Springboro and Lebanon. That's October 6th and October 13th, and then finishing with 2 road games, October 20th at Beaver Creek and October 27th at Northmont to wind out the season.
Spiral kick going, fielded at the 4.
He's got a gap wrapped up and brought down at, looks like, the 21-yard line.
Lewis on the return. McDonough on the stop. First down, Vikings.
The ball fielded right at about the 4. He comes across the 10, 15. So they've got 1st and 10. Ball spotted now at the 22. Troy leading by 7, 8:44 left to go in the first half. You see Miamisburg band just starting to head out of their stands to go get warmed up and tuned up before their halftime performance.
Clark, the ball carrier.
Clark carries the ball and picks up about another 2 yards. Looks like they're out to about the 24. So that'll make it 2nd and 8 from the 24.
Jones the work amp on the stop. 2nd down, Vikings.
Bongsy comes back in, calling in the play. Bongsy looks to pass the far side, in and out of the hands of the receiver, number 13. That's Tyler Johnson. Off his gloves and drops to the turf.
He needs some stickum. 3rd and 8 now from the 24. We have 3 straight Miamisburg games in our game of the week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this week. Then week number 6, we have Miamisburg at Fairmont. And then week number 7, we're Springboro at Miamisburg here, or back here for that game.
I know we talked about it a little bit this year or last year, whatever, but Miamisburg has really turned this program around the last 2 or 3, 4 seasons, whichever it's been. Kind of new coach came in and some staff changes. Here's Bongsy back to pass, looking across the middle, has a receiver just beyond the fingertips of number 16, and once again, that's Jackson Myers. And we have a flag on the far side, back right behind the 20-yard line. False start against Miamisburg once again. That penalty is declined, though, this time. So that's going to make it 4th and 8. Anyway, like I said, with the coaching changes, kind of new staff in place and just a shift in attitude and outlook from the Miamisburg team, and the team's doing much better. Seems like the stands, there's more response from the city, and everybody getting right back into Viking football again, the way we saw, years ago.
Dylan on to kick or punt again from the 15, almost blocked, but a high
Nice
good
line
kick.
drive kick, fielded at the 43-yard line by number 2, McDonough.
And he's tackled
McDonough
at
moves
about
out to
midfield.
the 50.
Done on the return. Jablonski
So
on
he's
the
got
stop.
about a 7-yard return on there. Jablonski, number 3, makes the stop right at midfield. And so Troy takes over 1st and 10 at the 50.
Miamisburg's a few plays of this game getting out of reach for them. Something really haven't seen Miamisburg really have that much trouble over the last few years, but
Yeah, but I've noticed it seems like the last couple games, it seemed like the first and third quarters are kind of slow, and second and fourth quarters they seem to pick it up a bit. So maybe they just kind of come out early and feel out the opponent and see how they do, and then make their adjustments second quarter and seem to pick it up. Run goes up the middle and goes just about to the line of scrimmage and just barely beyond.
Phil Bishop, the ball carrier.
Looks like 17, Dylan Woodkey, leading the tackle on that play. Bishop carried the ball and gained about a foot or so. So 2nd and 9, we'll call it, and ball just inside midfield, not quite to the 49 of the Vikings. Play clock down to 12 and running.
Coleman empties the backfield, and I think Coleman's looking the
Pass
receiver's
across
way.
the middle, going to number 84.
And he
he
hangs
catches it and
on.
holds on to it. That is a Kloppenstein.
Hard hit by that.
Let's see
I
if we can
can't
see the
see.
replay and see who the defender was on that play.
Maybe 12. Brant Profit,
Here
maybe.
comes the replay. You see 84 at the bottom of your screen, goes out and then cuts into to the top of the screen a little bit, catches it right there, and is immediately wrapped up,
Yep,
by number 12,
Profit.
you're right. Brant Profit.
Coleman back to pass again. No, Coleman's
Finds
going
a
to pull
gap.
it down
He's
and
got a
run.
big gap. He's 25, 20, 15,
Still
stays on
going.
his feet, 10,
Down to the
down to about the 6 or 7 yard line.
2 huge plays, and it's going to be, or 2 huge plays by the Trojans, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 6.
So they're going to have 1st and goal. Looks like the ball spotted right about the 7 yard line. Clock is running. 6:40 left to go in the game.
Half.
Or sorry, in the half, yes, in the first half of the game.
But don't end it too quickly.
Nope.
And Bishop gets, oh no, that's 23, gets the carry. He's
Nope,
down to the
that's
goal
5.
line.
5 has it. Sam Jackson, number 5, carried the ball. And Jackson goes about 8 yards into the end zone.
I never saw an official give the signal.
There, Bishop goes right in. Now the ref nods his head, but he doesn't signal right there at the play. But they are lining up for the kick. So it must have been the referee on the near side. We just didn't see it on the replay there. But yeah, I didn't see the ref in the middle of the play or on the far
The
side.
one right
signal.
on it.
Yeah. He just gave a head nod agreeing that it was there. So maybe he just let the other referee do the actual signal.
High snap, kicks up, almost
blocked. But it's good.
It's good. Troy, 2 touchdowns in about 3.5 minutes, putting the score now 21-7.
Holder on the play was number 25, Weston Smith, and putting it through the uprights, number 15, Braden Seiler.
That ball you saw in the replay, it was going more sideways than it was end over end.
He's just keeping it interesting.
Right.
He's had that many good kicks so far. He's just kind of giving himself a challenge and putting some English on the ball.
Maybe you'll see a bicycle kick next.
So it could be.
This is something I really have not seen Miamisburg deal with over the last few years, except against Wayne. That's being down double digits.
Yeah. So right now the Trojans with a 14-point lead, 21-7, just under 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Once again, thank you for watching the Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week. Week number 5 here are the Troy Trojans at the Miamisburg Vikings here at Holland Field in Miamisburg, Ohio. We've got about 88 degrees and humid evening, but looks like everybody's having a good time so far. It's cooling off a little bit. Kick is up, and a short kick comes to the near side. It's fielded at the 28-yard line
by number
8, and that is John Gebhardt.
And he gets out to
Gebhardt
the
looks like moves
30.
to about the 34, 35, right about the 34-yard line. So about a 6-yard return. Wrapped up at the ankles and dragged down before he was able to get too much further down the field.
If you're Miamisburg in this situation, you've got to hold the ball for the last 6.5 minutes and score.
I was going to say, yeah, you got to score. Not
And
just
you've got to
hold
go
on
into
to it,
the
you gotta
half.
Hold on to it into the end zone.
Vong's
Vong's back, passes to the far side, passes complete to number 15, Quinn Keenley. And
Finally
Keenley
brought down
moves
on the
out
play.
just across the 40.
Tackled by number 20, Blake
That's Blake
Burton.
Burton. Oh, 22 and 20 right there. So Burton and Kobe Feltner on the play. Both
It was a
getting
gain of
credit
6.
for that tackle. Looks like he picked up, 6, almost 7 on the play. So we'll call it, let's say 2nd and 3. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line, just behind the 41-yard line.
Ref signaling to restart the play clock. Clark
Vong's
now
hands
gets the
off.
carry.
Ball carry goes up the middle, and he's very close to the first down. Depending on the spot, he may have it. Looks like the ball's right about the 44. And let's see where the spot is. The ball's right on the 44-yard line. That should be enough for a first, it looks like.
Nation in on the stop.
No.
Yep, referee marks
Oh, there
first
it
down.
goes. There it goes.
A little bit of a conference call there, but they gave him credit for it. Clock runs again, 5:40 left in the game.
Now you've got number 11, Drew Berry, coming into the game, bringing in the play. Oh, I thought that was the backup quarterback.
That looks like one of the wide receivers calling it in, giving Vong's probably a little bit of rest on his legs after as much as he's moved around back and forth. Man in motion, going to the top side. Vong's back, hands off. Nope, he keeps it, fakes the handoff, keeps the ball, but is brought down for a loss of about 2 yards.
30 with the tackle for the for the Trojans.
Jacob Shoup.
Called his name quite a bit so far defensively.
2nd and 11. Ball now on the 43-yard line. And there's Tyler Johnson bringing in the play this time. Vong's leading the huddle. Back at about the 35-yard line. Brings everybody up to the line. Just about 4:45 left to go in the first half. Man in motion. Vong's takes the snap. Hands off. Run goes up the middle. He's got a little bit of room, but is tripped up and is going to land
Clark.
right about the 50-yard line.
That is how that wishbone attacking running offense messes up with the defense. You get everybody faking to the right, and you have the running back hand off the ball to the other running back at the top of the line, and you pick up a big chunk of yards like he just did there.
Yeah, he got about a 7-yard gain, so that's going to make it 3rd and 4, right on the 50-yard line.
About 4 minutes left in the first half. Vong's back to pass. Vong's looking to the far sideline.
Off the hands of the receiver, and
I believe
that
that's
was number 15, Keenley.
Queen Keenley.
There you see the replay. Vong's drops back. Keenley's up the top of the screen, just a bit high. And then good pressure by the Trojan defense right there. As soon as the receiver was getting his hands on it,
Oh, that was 4th down.
defender wrapped him up. Yeah, so now we've got 4th and 4, still on the 50. Miamisburg back to punt.
Maybe. We've seen everything else tonight. Maybe a fake punt.
There's the snap. Punt is up. Nice high kick coming a little bit to the near side. Number 2 is back to get it. Ball's going to go out of bounds right about the 15-yard line. It landed at the 17 and then bounced out of bounds. Derek McDonough, number 2, is back to receive, but didn't really have much chance to receive the ball.
So 3:52 left, and the Trojans have to go or start this drive at the 15. Be interesting to see how Miamisburg, or what changes Miamisburg makes offensively and defensively at the half.
Right now, they've just got to stop them, try and control them, keep them down. Don't let them pick up any yards, keep them down deep in their own territory, and then hopefully try and take over the ball or just get a short punt if they possibly can. Quarterback gets the play called in from the side. He's in shotgun. That's Coleman again.
Bishop with the carry out to the 20.
Yeah, it's
Oh, to
about
the
the
18.
18, 17 or 18. Looks like they're going to spot it just behind the 18-yard line. So pickup of not quite 3. No, we'll call it 2nd and 7, but it's going to be a long 7.
The stadium got so quiet before that play happened. You
Mm-hmm.
could hear Coleman clap up here. There you go again.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to get the Vikings to jump.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah. Seems like almost every one of these high school teams is doing that nowadays, and I think they're all ready for it. Doesn't seem like it does a whole lot where they make the snap or make the motion, then look off to the side.
Bishop keeps it. Bishop, a stiff arm, knocked out of bounds at about the 25.
23.
Oh,
Yeah, he stepped out. He kind of leaned forward a little bit. It looks like his foot got onto the sideline right back at the 23. You'll see Bishop come from the top of the screen down toward your left-hand side of the screen.
I don't think Bishop was lined up right. 3rd and 2 here. So you hear the Viking horn sound. 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first half.
Bishop in the backfield again. Coleman in shotgun.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Yep.
Play clock's down to 5.
Coleman claps again, gets the ball.
Bishop right
hands
up the
to Bishop,
middle.
And
it'll
Bishop
be
gets
close.
to near the 25, not quite the 25. He's going to be short, it looks like,
The 4th down.
and about a foot.
If you're Miamisburg, do you take a timeout here and save time? Or do you not and wait and see what Troy does?
Well, Troy's going
You
to
have
send out
to
the punt
send
team.
out the punt team in this situation. Now, if you're Miamisburg, you have to not jump.
Right. Yeah, don't give up the free down, free series.
High kick, wobbly.
Fair
And right
caught,
at the midfield.
Right, yeah, just behind the midfield line. So looks like they're going to take the ball right at midfield.
This is kind of a risky play for Tyler Johnson to come up and catch.
So it looked like 21, Raske making the punt, and pretty good punt. Vikings take over 1st and 10 right on the midfield stripe at the 50.
2:18 left in the first half. Miamisburg has to score a touchdown before this half ends just to try to stop Troy's momentum and get something going towards the second half.
Overload the near side of the field.
And Tony Clark gets the carry that way, and he'll
and
lose
loses
one.
about a yard. He's brought down back at the 49 for loss of 1. It's going to make it 2nd and 11 at the 49. There he gets. Yeah, I wasn't able to see the numbers on the tackler there, but one of the interior line guys was just able to shoot through and wrap him up, drag him down. There's the Viking cowbells. I think the Vikings love themselves some cowbells.
I don't know why you get the Viking horn, not a cowbell.
Man in motion coming to the near side. Handoff goes to
Clark,
who's that?
and he's dragged back
Lost
down.
another yard.
Looks
He's
like
down
30,
at the 48.
36 with the carry, Joe Schricker.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 12 back at the 48-yard line.
3rd down, Vikings.
About a minute 15 left to go.
So far, this Troy defensive line has stepped up and accepted the challenge.
Yeah. They're fired up just the way they're
Vongsi
off.
back to
He's gonna-
pass. And that's just a miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback.
Looks like he was looking for Keenley, and Keenley had already cut back in toward the inside. I think Vongsi was looking for him to either go straight or maybe cut to the outside, but he wouldn't have had much room to cut to the outside. He went in, and the ball landed about 5 or 10 yards behind him. And Keenley looked surprised, thinking, where was that one going to? Vongsi looked pretty surprised that he wasn't there to catch it.
And Vongsi kind of threw that one off his back foot, too. But if you're Vongsi, you have to set your receivers down at halftime and talk to them and review the simple playbook.
Nice punt. That
Driving
ball
it back.
lands at the 7-yard line, takes a bounce forward and is going to be down somewhere between the 10 and 11.
Looks like right
That
in
was
the middle.
a booming punt. Where did he kick this? He kicked that from about the 40-yard line, 35 or 40, and it's going to land down, like say, right about the 7, and then bounces back to just about the 10 or 11-yard line. Down by number 12, Brant Profit, 6 foot, 165-pound senior. Looks like we have timeout Troy. So with 46 seconds left in the first half, we have a timeout. Tonight's MVCC Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit Miami Valley AdaptedSports.org for more information. Now, last night at the as we did the Centerville game, we had the MVAS color guard, and auxiliary performers out there on the field, along with the Centerville Jazz Band. So nice to see everybody out there. While the students are in school, they can go take part in that activity and perform along with some of the school bands.
I believe the Miami Valley Auxiliary Band was out here 2 weeks ago when we were here for Loveland and Miamisburg for our Game of the Week. So nice to see them out moving around amongst the different high schools.
Yes.
And Coleman's going to take a knee. And let's see,
He's going to have to take one more, it looks like. 41 seconds on the game clock.
Miamisburg called a timeout.
Yeah, well, he's still going to have to take another knee even after the timeout. 41 seconds on the game clock and 25 on the play clock. So they'll have to run another play after this. So, yeah, so if you're interested in that, once again, check out MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org and, look up the information on there. If you're interested in the color guard activities for any of the high school age students. Also, if you want to check out social media, go to mvcc.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in the conversation using the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay.
All right.
Check out mvcc.fans for real-time live scores on our MVCC Game of the Week games. Engage now at mvcc.fans, F-A-N-S.
It'll be interesting to see if Miamisburg calls on their last time out after this play. But it doesn't look like Coleman's going to take a knee right away.
I don't know. Play clock starts. There's 40 seconds left on the game. He hands off to Bishop. Bishop finds a little bit of a gap and moves out to the 15.
Tackled by number 12, Brant Profit.
And we have Miamisburg timeout now. 34 seconds left on the first half clock.
What to come and look at? Profit tackles both number 8 and 84.
Double duty.
Make sure he didn't hand it off to 84 going to the ground.
Miamisburg City Schools has partnered with Farmers and Merchants Bank to bring you the
It'll be interesting. If Troy just takes a knee, they'll still have to punt.
Yeah.
Good clock management by Miamisburg here at the end of the first half. But I think Chanel and the Vikings, he's ready to get off this field and get into the locker room and rip this team apart of what they're not doing correctly.
Yeah. Just a nice friendly reminder of a few basics.
A couple pieces of chalk might be thrown up against the chalkboard or dry erase board.
If your number is called, you must report to the press box within 5 minutes.
Coming back out of Miamisburg's last timeout.
They're not moving very quick. I think they're a little bit surprised to be down by 14 in the first half. But yeah, the last couple times they've come out of that huddle, they're not moving as quick as they could be.
Bishop has the carry. Bishop
He's
to
got
the
some
outside.
room to 25 and out to about the 27, maybe 28-yard line.
And that one should do it.
Well, that gives them a first down. Yeah, they may have 1 second left or so. 26 on the game clock, 25 on the play clock. They're going to have to run one more.
It looks like the play clock. They're identical, maybe.
They may just take a knee. There's about a 1 second difference. So, yeah, they're just lined up. They're going to do basically victory formation, just take a knee on this play.
And so far, the first half victory goes to Troy.
Yeah.
Coming in on the road, tough environment, and you're up 14 at the half, 21-7.
Right, and I don't think you, to be honest, really expected that Troy was going to be up, let alone by 14 after the first half.
Well, we're going to toss it down to the Miamisburg band to perform their halftime show. So we'll be back after halftime.
The Miamisburg Viking Marching Band is proud to present tonight their 2017 competition show, Las Vegas. The band will be performing Las Vegas and Dead Elvis by American composer Michael Dougherty, as well as Viva Las Vegas, made famous by the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, done in a way you've never heard it before. The band will be led on the field tonight by drum majors Marissa Witzerman, Kristen Adams, Katie Geis, and Taylor McGuire. Please welcome the Miamisburg Viking Marching Band.
Devastation is spread as far as the eye can see.
Again, that was Press Secretary William Kaplan, the first official statement from the White House a little over 30 minutes ago, stressing calm and what he assures us is a fully...
The president seemed optimistic, saying, "I'm very confident the American people will come together to assist the residents of the affected area."
This is MVC Nightly News.
Breaking news.
Survivors were taken to the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Accounts of the ground opening up and swallowing whole sections of land. Buildings
The city seems as being overrun. MVC News, Las Vegas.
The Miamisburg Viking Marching Band is under the direction of Steve Aylworm, Brian Wintersheimer, Miranda Watt, Andrew Whitman, Kendra Windland, and David Bander. The color guard director is Heather Graham, and the percussion director is Jared Quartz. Last Saturday, the band traveled to the Bishop Fenwick Invitational, where out of 15 bands, they swept all captions, winning Best Music, Best Visual, Best General Effect, Best Color Guard, and Best Percussion, en route to winning overall Grand Champion. Tomorrow, the band will be traveling to the University of Toledo, where they will compete against 24 other bands from 7 states in the Bands of America regional competition. Let's have one more round of applause for the Miamisburg Viking Marching Band.
All right, we're just about ready for the second half kickoff. The Troy Trojans are going to receive the ball in the second half, and they're going to receive over on the left-hand side of your screen. So Miamisburg will be kicking off from the right side. You see them down there now in their final little huddle. We've got about 30 seconds left to go before the second half starts. So Miamisburg had a nice halftime show. It's been an interesting first half. I know we were both talking about, we thought Miamisburg is going to do a little bit better the first half. A little bit of miscommunication. They seem like they haven't played poorly.
No.
They just haven't, been shining. Some miscommunication between the receivers and the quarterback. A couple little misfires here and there. What do you think they're going to have to do to kind of get right back into it?
They're going to have to find a way to stop this onslaught by the blitzing of the Troy Trojans defensive line. It seems like almost every play there's a Trojan in the backfield, almost at the hit of contact, or when Vongsi's about to hand the ball off, or Vongsi's going to be sacked in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the quarterback. You're right, so far. So he's been hit a couple times so far, but hasn't seemed to, individual passes, but hasn't seemed to affect him overall as far as really slowing him down too much. But I know, like we talked about at the end of the first half, you could see Miamisburg, as they weren't quite expecting this outcome at the end of the first half. Seemed like they were coming out of their huddles a bit slower and just seemed to be losing some energy so far. But we've got 12 minutes back on the clock, getting ready to kick off the third quarter. Trojans right now still with a 14-point lead, leading 21-7 over the home team of the Miamisburg Vikings here in Miamisburg, Holland Field in Miamisburg, Ohio. Star City, USA. So they're getting ready for the kickoff now.
We saw it last week in our game of the week. Fairmont on side of the ball to start the second half to build momentum.
Dillon kicks. It's a low kick, rolls right down the middle, picked up and dropped at the 25. Receiver has it. That looks like 26. Kevin Walters has it. And Walters moves out to about the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. So about a maybe an 11-yard return on the play. Looks like they're going to spot the ball right on the 35, so about a 10-yard return. So Trojans start out 1st and 10 from their own 35. So not bad field position, not great field position. Kind of just about typical, maybe a little bit better than average after kickoff.
It'll be interesting to see what Miamisburg does here on this first drive defensively.
Coleman in shotgun, Bishop in the backfield. Once again, there's the snap and then the look to the side, tricking everybody on the field. Second clap, Bishop takes the handoff, finds a gap up the middle, picks up 5 and about 8 yards. And now we have a late flag. Looks like we're going to have a late hit. Looks like we may have had a late hit by the Miamisburg defense. I don't know if we're going to see a replay on that one or not. Looks like actually now we may have, it looks like two flags came in, and that penalty is against Miamisburg.
That is a face mask, 15 yards.
Okay. So after the penalty is marked off, the ball's going to be spotted down at the 42-yard line of the Vikings. 1st and 10 Trojans. Clock runs 11:46, so 15 seconds in right about now. Looking to the side for the coach's call.
Miamisburg's just standing flat-footed on defense.
Colt Bishop takes the ball, jumps around a defender, finds a gap, 30, 25, 20. He's going to go in 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone, almost untouched.
Colt Bishop with a touchdown.
So he's got a 42-yard rushing touchdown and was barely touched, just maybe lightly at the line of scrimmage. Watch here on the replay. He's already got the gap, goes right around 2 defenders, outruns the 3rd, cuts inside a 4th, and is untouched for the last 10 yards of the run.
This is definitely
a
shocker.
A shock to the Vikings, yes. Trojans line up for the kick. Seiler back to kick again. And we have
a flag.
Early motion.
Offsides against Miamisburg.
Yeah. Looked like one of the guys right here, possibly 49. I'm not sure if exactly him, moved a little bit early. I think it was 49, Carter Brown. Looks like he shifted in just a little bit. May have been the guy inside him, closer toward the center. Anyway, Seiler gets a little bit closer. Sometimes the kickers don't even like that penalty, though. Throws off their aim just a little bit. Seiler's got it up, and it's good. So extra point is good. 28-7, 21-point lead. Just 38 seconds into the 3rd quarter. So a quick series. So they had the ball just over 38 seconds, their first drive of the 1st quarter, but that ended up in a punt. This time they've got it 38 seconds, and they take it in for a touchdown.
Definitely not what I was expecting in our pregame talks.
No.
Miamisburg did come down from behind last year in both games to win, but I don't think a 21-point gap was that.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what they can do, because I'm sure they were talking about certain adjustments that they need to make during the halftime speech. But, that was a nice run there. It looks like the Colt Bishop, found a nice little gap and went in. The guys were there. They just weren't able to, the Viking guys were there for the tackles, just weren't able to make the tackle and finish it off.
Now it'll be interesting to see, how does Miamisburg answer with, now down 21 points.
Seiler lines up to kick from the 40-yard line. He boots a short one. It's fielded at the 28-yard line, and that looks like it's Kirkpatrick, number 2, I believe, that has the ball.
Out to
and
about
now
the
we've got
35.
some late hitting and shoving right about the 35. Ball goes back to, looks like they're going to spot it at the 36. So about an 8-yard return on the play. Here's the replay of the kick as Seiler lines up. And now we'll go back to live action. No, that's still the replay of the kickoff there. Short kick right there. Looks like it might have been John Gebhardt, actually, that caught that ball. I think I called out Kirkpatrick earlier. Sorry about that. Run up the middle, stops At about the 36 again, no gain on the play, so that's still going to be 2nd and 10 from the 36.
Miamisburg is really, I mean, their game plan's not working so far, and they have to find something else that they can do maybe.
Volmsey comes in from the sideline. Volmsey under center, man in motion, come to the bottom of the screen. Volmsey's got it, passes to the near side, complete. That's number 16, Jackson Myers. Myers takes the ball and moves out to about the 45. Yep, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So he's about a yard short of the first down. Going to be 3rd and 1 from the 45. Once again, thank you to City Barbecue for sponsoring our replay cams and replay capabilities here on the Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week. Much appreciated. If you get a chance, stop by and say thank you. Pick up a nice plate. Run up the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down and a couple yards more.
Looks like John Lutz with the tackle there for the Trojans.
And looks like we've got a Trojan down, number 77, shaking up on the play, Gage Forsyth. Trainers come out to take a look at him. So official timeout on the field. Tonight's Miami Valley Communications Council High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Fairmont, West Carrollton, and Miamisburg High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this game and other games. Tonight's MVCC Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information. So I guess now they're probably, if I'm kind of guessing on the time frame, but MVAS has the wheelchair basketball team. So I imagine they're probably getting ready for their season. I don't know exactly what time of the year they compete, but I know when we've gone down and done games with them in the past, that was kind of early winter, so I'm sure they're kind of getting ready for the season now. That's always an exciting game to watch there. Here we've got Forsyth back on his feet, hobbling off a little bit, but at least he's back up on his feet and partway under his own power. It looks like they're going to have a couple other players help carry him off there a little bit or help walk him off. He's a little bit bigger player than I think the trainers are ready to carry off there.
Where's the cart?
Yeah.
He ain't putting any left on that.
Yeah.
Left
looks like his left knee or left ankle, something.
But if you're Miamisburg, you're coming out of this injury timeout, I'd say you have to almost go a no-huddle play calling system the rest of the way. You can't afford to take those 35, 40 seconds off the clock to have Vongzi running a play.
And it'll save Vongzi's legs, too. As
If
much
he has
as
to
he's running
scramble
back and forth, a he's got a 20-yard run, 30-yard run each direction just
and
to go over
just
to the
getting
coaches.
to the huddle.
Right. So when you got somebody running that much before the play is even snapped, he's got to start to get tired at some point. So I know we saw last time there's clocks running again now. Vongzi hands off the ball up the middle, and the gain maybe about a yard.
But
so he's spotted right now at the 48-yard line, so not even any gain on there.
They're going to must have to go to just passing. I mean, clock time's winding down here in the third quarter.
Just about 10 minutes in the third period, 20 seconds on the play clock. Miamisburg still in the huddle. Tyler Johnson heading up toward the top of your screen, laying out wide out as wide receiver. A couple guys shifting there. That's Myers and Lanehart. Quarterback keeper
fakes it going deep to Tyler Johnson. And Tyler, incomplete, is about 2 yards in front of him.
Yeah. Johnson, once again, we mentioned, was the top of the screen for the receiver. Went in, stayed pretty much a straight route right down the field, almost right down the hash line.
Oh.
But the ball's about 3 or 4 yards too long, almost closer to number 3, Zach Boyer. Probably had more of a chance receiving that one, so just a little bit long on there.
3rd and 10. I say if you maybe pick up 4 or 5 yards on this is 4 down territory. You hear the cheerleaders trying to get the student section into this.
Yeah.
3rd and long from the 48.
As long as he's
Bonzi-
back
oop,
passing, he looks like he's got an open receiver, number 15. He catches it at the 50.
and maybe
And that
reaches
is
to the
Quinn
49.
Keenley. And gain about 2. So that is not the result they were looking for. Keenley caught the ball, but was immediately wrapped up by the defender. There you see Keenley kind of going across the middle of your screen, heading up toward the 50-yard marker. Catches it and is immediately stopped by number 20, Blake Burton. So 4th and 8. Miamisburg sends in the punt team.
This is Dylan's, what, 5th or 6th punt of the game?
I think
Maybe
so,
more.
yeah.
High booming punt, driving him
That's going to
back.
come down. That lands at the 8 and rolls right into the end zone for a touchback.
Ball goes into the end zone. It'll be first down, Troy.
So Trojan receiver saw that one coming down and just wisely stepped out of the way and let them bounce right into the end zone. I say Dylan for the Vikings came into the game with 8 punts for 274 yards, averaging 34.3 yards. His longest was 59.
I mean, he's doing it. He is helping his defense out and flipping the field position, but
Yeah.
Jasmine Plummer, Caleb Williams, and Olivia Kinley.
do you see that flag on the far side of the field?
Well, I do now.
Give it up for the Burke student section.
Now we've got
And
a flag
Troy's
on the far
coach
side.
is on the field mad.
Yeah. They're pointing down toward the far end, south end of the field, down toward where the scoreboard is. Not sure exactly what the issue is at the moment. We'll watch here for the referee's call.
Face mask against Miamisburg. That'll be
And now one of the refs is coming back to talk to the head referee. Let's see if there's going to be any other change to the call. Now, I didn't see the flag during the play.
I didn't.
Unless they just missed it and, spotted the ball. Face mask call against Miamisburg is declined. Troy has the ball.
1st and 10, I guess, from the 20.
Right now, that's where it's marked. Let's see if they're going to change anything. Yeah, they spotted at the 20. So the penalty was declined. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Trojans. 9:14 left on the 3rd period game clock. 25 seconds on the shot clock. That starts to roll now. Coleman back in shotgun. Culp Bishop in the backfield. Bishop takes the ball, goes to the far side. He's at the 30, 35, goes to the 40, 40, 45 now, and goes out of bounds near about the 43-yard line. Now it looks like they're going to mark him out right at the 40. I guess he stepped out right at the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10, 20-yard pickup. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. 20 more yards for Culp Bishop. He's had a productive evening so far.
Yeah. That first
Bishop
quarter,
gets the ball again, moves to the line of scrimmage, and picks up another 5 right up the middle.
kind of held at bay in that first half. Towards the end of the first half, he kind of went off a few big holes.
Connor Harden, number 20, making the stop on that play. Only letting him pick up 5. Bishop came in, let's see, back to my notes, averaging about 6.7 yards per run. Averaging 121 yards per game. I would say I'm guessing he's probably got more than that so far today. Close to it or maybe more already.
Troy's now just letting the clock wind down.
Bishop takes the ball again, goes to the far side, 5 yards, 10 yards. He's at the 40, 35, 30, 25. He's in a foot race at the 20, gets dragged down, and finally goes down at about the 11, maybe the 12-yard line, depending on the final spot. Here, watch. Bishop goes toward the top of the screen, outruns one guy, two guys, three guys. Finally grabbed by number 23 for the Vikings, and that is John Yerkins. Yerkins stops the touchdown. So we've got 1st and 10, ball spotted on the 11. Just about 8:05 left on the 3rd period game clock. 12 seconds left on the game clock, or on the play clock.
Bishop gets maybe to the 10.
Yeah, it looks like about to the 10. Gains about a yard.
Oh, they said Jackson, so number 5, Sam
Okay.
Jackson.
Gebhardt with a stop.
I don't see. Oops.
Yeah, Bishop's not
Yeah,
back.
Bishop's
That's
out. I think he's
Jackson.
taking a breather after that long run. So Jackson is in the backfield right now, standing right behind Coleman. And we've got McGilvery and Burton down at the near side as receivers.
High snap.
Jackson
gives it
gets
off
the
to Jackson.
ball and gets brought down at about the 11, lost about a yard.
Looks like Kinley gets the tackle there for the.
Myers and Parker's on the stop.
So 3rd and 11 from the 11.
Under 7
Sorry,
minutes.
3rd and 11 from the 12, because they had been at the 11-yard line. Jackson in the backfield again, standing behind Coleman. Coleman's
back
got
to
the ball,
pass.
looking for a receiver. He's got a receiver at the back of the end zone, but he keeps it. Finally passes
Almost
and
intercept.
batted down. That was what, Tyler Johnson, I
Yes,
believe?
that was.
Number 13 broke up the play. Tyler Johnson stopping another Trojan touchdown there.
I'm going to say that one should have been picked off. He had both hands on
Yeah.
it and it hit him in the chest. He's going to need to put something on his gloves. He's had a lot of ball hitting him right off the gloves and
Yeah.
going out incomplete.
They're lining up for a field goal.
Brandon
And that looks like
Seiler.
Seiler's going to line up for another kick. Never have gotten to see the long snapper's number here. I keep trying to get his number to announce his
Kick
name
is
as well.
up, and it is
Good.
good.
Field goal is good. Troy Trojans 31.
31-7, 6.5 minutes left.
Oh, 24-point lead. Yeah, Troy had a receiver in the back of the end zone. Coleman was dropping down to the near side, trying to get him a little bit wider open. It looks like there was a defender right in between the quarterback and the receiver. Coleman was trying to get around him a little bit, finally threw the pass, but another defender was able to step in front of it and almost picked it off. Again, that was Johnson. And almost picked it off, but at least he batted it down and stopped the Trojans from getting another touchdown. So saved the 7 points, only gave up 3, but they're still looking at a 24-point deficit, 6:37 left in the third quarter.
Anything can happen. That's why you play until the scoreboard says 0. They're playing this music, and it seems like it's pumping up the Troy team more than it is
Yeah.
Miamisburg.
John Werekamp out there for the Trojans, number 33, jumping up and down, kind of getting the student section fired up.
Kick.
Ball fielded at the 26-yard line.
And he's hit hard right at the. Was that number 7, Cameron Sloan?
Gebhardt with a
Gebhardt.
stop down.
27. No.
No, number 8, John Gebhardt.
Oh.
Yeah, he got it at about the 28, moves out to, looks like the 34, so about a 6-yard return there. It's always interesting, some of those guys in the middle of the formation, don't anticipate getting the ball, and sometimes they catch it. Although I think he's gotten it a couple times tonight.
Yeah,
But sometimes those guys kind of catch it, and then they're like, hey, I've got the ball. I need to run,
Right.
before I get hit.
I don't really know what to do, but I'm
Yeah.
supposed to run the other way.
I'm not normally supposed to get this ball, but I've got it, so here's my chance.
And
Picked
if you
up a
fumble
6-yard
it, you
return.
go back further to the other end
and
zone.
he held on it tight, even though after he got popped hard, he held on to that ball wisely.
Yeah, that was a hard lick. I believe
Yeah.
that was 27 Austin Staniford. But 6.5 minutes left from the 34. Miamisburg has to really get passes going down the field or get big running lanes down the field. And
Vongsi keeps the ball, rolls to the far side, passes across the middle, in and out of the hands of the receiver.
Hard
and he
hit.
is drilled hard. And that was, I believe, John Yerkins, number 23. Watch the replay on here if we see
Yeah,
that.
it is Yerkins.
And
getting up
Yerkins
slowly.
gets drilled in the back hard. I didn't see who hit him, but just kind of a red and white blur going into his back. But he got hit hard and didn't have the ball anyway. But at least he's back up on his feet and just absorbed the blow and moved right back on
I
onto
see
the field.
some leave in his future.
Yes, I think so. There's Jackson Myers coming over to the sideline.
Looks like 26 is
Yeah,
getting ready
26
to
is
check
going back in. Colin Dillon goes in to take in the play and relieves Jackson Myers for just a little bit.
Well, he's punted the ball very well. Let's see if he can catch the ball. Miamisburg drumline trying to get something going to get this stadium up on its feet.
Bonzi trips and goes down back at the 28-yard line. Let's see where they're going to rule him down. It looks like they're going to mark him at the 29.
So that'll be a loss of 6?
Yeah, about
7?
About 5, maybe 6. Ball spotted now. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 15 at the 29. So, yeah, he either got stepped on or tripped over somebody's foot, but as soon as he started to step backwards, he started to stagger a little bit and then went down and got touched down. But so 3rd and 15.
That doesn't make you want to line up under center anymore.
Looks like we've got Dillon, I believe, up at the top of the screen as wide receiver. Vongsy's back. Looks like he's passing. He's got his man open. Nope, too far.
Oh, just over the outstretched hands of Dillon. And another punt coming for the Vikings. Now Dillon has to run all the way back here and punt the ball. This was...
So watch here. Dillon's, you can just see his legs at the top of your screen. Vongsy's going to drop back and pass to him. He's open, but the pass is just a tiny bit long.
A little bit more air, and I think he's at least got the catch.
Got Jaron Bailey coming out kind of at the last minute to provide a little bit of a blocking coverage for the kicker.
And it looks like Troy's sending it.
High snap. Kicked.
Still getting
and
a
a line
decent
drive kick. Fielded at the 32.
I thought I saw him throw his hand up.
I didn't think he did. I think he was
And
stepping up,
oh,
just kind of
nice
raise the ball.
tackle by number 14, Jared Mayberry.
Derek McDonough fielded the ball at about the 32, and then he goes down. He runs backwards a little bit and gets down at the 28-yard line.
Maybe if we can see a replay of this. Mayberry looked like all he could do was get a hand and smack his shoe, and it looked like it tripped him up just enough.
So about a minus 4-yard return on that one. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for the Trojans. So here's the high snap. You see kind of a line drive kick. And as the camera pans down, yeah, you don't see him wave it off, but there.
Taps his foot maybe, and he falls down.
Yeah, Mayberry, number 14, getting credited with the tackle for that one.
Miamisburg needs a turnover here to have some sort of shot to get back in. As Bishop gets
Colt
the carry.
Bishop gets the ball. He's at the 30, running to the sideline, near the 35, stretches out and goes just across the 35. And it looks like who we've got on here. 12 and 23 on the tackle. Brant Profit and John Yerkins kind of at the bottom of that pile. So we've got a gain of 7. Makes it 2nd and 3 from the 35. Colt Bishop once again in the backfield. Coleman in shotgun. 2 receivers top of the screen. And we've got Jacob Shoup there at the very bottom of your screen, number 30. Colt Bishop.
Coleman
keeps the ball, fakes the handoff. He's at the 40, 45. Gets stopped by number 13, Tyler Johnson. And then they finally drag him down. The whistle is blown, and still some pushing and shoving going on. Colt Bishop is going to be marked down at about the 48-yard line, 47.5, maybe 48.
Nice fake
13 just kind of put his shoulder,
shoulder. First and 10 from the 48. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom for Troy. But I'm expecting only a run.
Shoup at the bottom of your screen, and who do we have up top? McGilvery and 84, Klopfenstein. And I don't get the number on the very top receiver.
Bishop
but
gets
the ball's
carry.
a handoff again to Bishop. He cuts back in, and he's going to gain maybe 2. Nope, just 1. They're going to mark him down at the 49, so picked up a yard.
Well, these refs are standing at 2 different lines.
Yeah, that seems normal. So.
Split the difference in a gain of 1.
It's a 2nd and 9 from the 49. Looking to the sideline once again for the play. Oh, up the top of the screen, that's number 21, Tucker Rasky, also the punter.
Play clock down to 9. He really hasn't had to punt much tonight.
No.
16 comes in motion down bottom.
Yep, McGilvery.
And he gets the handoff
Bishop.
and maybe gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 for Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop gained about a yard. He's out to the 50. So that'll make it 3rd and 8 from the 50.
Miamisburg needs this stop defensively. 3rd and 7.
Just a little over 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. 24-point lead for the Trojans.
Coleman in shotgun formation, back to pass.
He's got a man open across the middle and overthrown
Incomplete.
by about 5 or 10 yards.
That is number 21. It was intended.
Rasky.
Tongue-tied on it. Now we get to see the punter.
That should be Rasky again. He was the intended receiver. Now he's going to come back and punt the ball.
Yep, there he is. Welcome back to the back. Tyler Johnson standing at about his own 20. Hopefully he can get a big return, maybe even for a touchdown for the Vikings. At least get some momentum. Almost blocked. And that one's going to the sideline. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. So 78 yards.
All right, I think I finally got a number for the long snapper. I believe it's number 27, Austin Staniford.
You've been working on that one all
I
night.
do, yeah. I know the guys never get called out. I mean, he's working hard. He's got to. I mean, you're standing basically upside down, trying to throw about a 15-yard pass
between your legs.
Yeah, between your legs, looking upside down, and you know you're about to get drilled and driven into the turf. So the guys never get their names called out, it seems like, and they make a heck of a play. You know, the quarterbacks typically, I mean, at least they're looking upright and throwing the ball.
Tony Clark has the outside edge, and he might have about a gain of 8.
He's right out to just across the 30-yard line. Nope, right on the 30-yard line is where they're going to spot it. So, yeah, a gain of about 8 yards.
Those are runs they had to do in the first half. Now they really don't have the opportunity and time to run it.
So we've got 2nd and 2. Ball's marked right on the 30-yard line. 2:12 on the clock and counting. 17 seconds on the game clock, or play clock and counting. Handoff goes up the middle. Runner finds a gap
Clark
and
shot
moves
through
across
there.
to about the 38. That's going to pick up a first down and about an extra 5 yards.
I thought he was stopped at the line of
I
scrimmage,
thought
and
so
then
too,
you just
yeah.
see him shoot out.
Yep. He was able to get some traction and shoot between a couple defenders. So we have 1st and 10. Ball now spotted on the 39-yard line. Drew Berry coming in to call in the play this time. And in the background, you hear the Miamisburg Cut Band kind of pumping up their student section once again.
Clark under center. Clark fakes the
Keeps
handoff.
it, comes to the near side, and is
And
wrapped
he's
up and
sacked.
dragged down at the 34.
Taken down by the Trojans.
33 and 36 with the sack there. John Warcomb
And Joa Schricker. So we have 2nd and 15 from the 34.
You've got to leave those running backs back there to block, and you just got to give
Yeah.
Vongsley time to throw. And this is what we were talking about Miamisburg cannot do, is take 25, 30 seconds off
No,
the play clock or game clock.
He faked the handoff, tried to roll to the other side, but the defensive line read immediately. Pass comes to the near sideline. It looks like it may be overthrown. Yes.
Oh, Johnson
intended
gets a
for
hand
number
on him.
13, and just kind of a fingertip. But the ball, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of wind, much wind at all out there right now. But Vongsley tonight, just unfortunately, has not been able to get exactly on target. I don't know whether he's throwing a bit long or if the receivers are running a bit slow tonight. But whatever the combination of factors is, they are just not having the connections that they were hoping to get. Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or MVCC.net. Hashtag City Barbecue Replay. Once again, if you check out MVCC.net, you can watch this game later on streaming live after tomorrow, or you'll be able to check out any of the other previous games of the week from this season or even previous seasons. Also, all sorts of community access programming from your various communities. Ball is tipped and falls incomplete.
Pass goes incomplete.
Almost an interception.
Yeah, 33, John Werekamp tried to move in there and get the ball, but once it was tipped, it dropped short of Werekamp's hands. But he was watching it and was trying to make the play. So once again, check out cable channel 21 on Spectrum, and you can click on your individual city, and then once you're on your city's choice, you can check out whether you want to look at city programming, school programming, community events, all sorts of things on there.
Another punt coming from Dylan, and not really something we thought at the beginning of the game we would be saying over and over and over again. But he's been able to really
Line
get a
drive
foot
kick
on it.
fielded at the 31, and that's number 2, McDonough, catching the ball. McDonough finds
still
a gap.
going.
He's at the 40, 45, and brought down at about the 48. Two flags now.
Miamisburg needs to put a uniform on that ref. He threw that one from the sideline, and look, it's right there in the middle.
Let's watch the replay, see if we can see the penalty on the far side.
I think
you're
we'll
going to see
the
McDonough
flag.
field the ball right at the 31. He moves to the far side, and then not holding there. What are we seeing?
I don't see.
Block in the back was right there. Looks like the block in the back was by Troy.
I want to see that replay of that
Yeah,
throw
all right.
from the ref.
Yeah, penalty call is against Troy. One of the guys really drilled one of the Berg players in the back just to open up the running lane a little bit more and let McDonough pick up a few more yards. But that penalty is going to cost him instead of gaining another 2 or 3 yards. I think it ended up costing him 10 or 15. So they had been out near about the 45, and the ball now is spotted back at the 31. So, yeah, about a 14-yard net loss on the penalty there. So first and 10 from the 35.
Bishop gets the carry, and Bishop
Gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe about a foot more. Maybe not even that.
I think that's Bishop's shortest run of the night. Shortest this second half.
Yeah, Bishop on the interior line comes right back around him. 16 starting to get a hand on him, Jackson Myers. And then 2 or 3 other guys kind of wrap him up and continue to finish off dragging him down.
And Troy doesn't have to snap it if they don't want to.
10 seconds on the quarter clock and about 20 seconds left on the play clock. So they're just going to let time expire. And score right now at the end of the third period is the Troy Trojans 31, leading by 24 over the Miamisburg Vikings. Once again, tonight's MVCC High School Game of the Week is being recorded by Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Fairmont, West Carrollton, and Miamisburg High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this and other games. Now here at the quarter break, we've got the entire Miamisburg team out there kind of lined up at the 50, listening to the coach make his suggestions of adjustments that he would like to see done.
I think he's telling him his team's there's still a chance. 24 points. Miamisburg get 2 stops here. It'd be 4th down. But 4th down and 24 points is a lot to try and overcome in 12 short minutes.
There you see some more T-shirts flying up into the stands as well. You might see a couple little comets streaking across your screen. Those are the T-shirts wadded up, being thrown up into the crowds or shot up into the crowds by the home cheerleaders. Check out MVCC.fans for real-time live scores or our MVCC Game of the Week updates. Engage now at MVCC.fans.
Flip the field and 12 minutes left in the ball game. And I think Troy's a couple first downs from putting a stamp on this one.
So if they get 2 points every minute, they tie it up.
Why you got to bring math into this? That's a lot of safeties. And Bishop hit in the backfield, but escapes the tackle.
He finds a gap. He's got a blocker. He's at the 30, 35. He's got a little bit of room. 40, 45, 50. Gets hit. Looks like hit by number 20, Connor Harden. And Harden kind of drives him out of bounds. But a big pickup.
The quarterback should have been called for a block in the back. What if we could see a replay? You got to watch number 10 Coleman.
Yeah, down
drop
toward the bottom
boom.
of the screen. As you see the run come down
You
toward the near side, you see Colin just kind of standing there.
And
but then later in the play, as he comes down toward the bottom, now it's going to go off the screen to the left. All right, so we have 1st and 10. Ball is spotted on the 43-yard line. A big pickup for the Trojans.
Bishop gets
Bishop
the carry.
gets the ball. 2 guys wrap him up in the backfield. He breaks free.
He's still
down to the
going.
40 and goes down to the 39-yard line. So it picks up about 4 yards after almost being stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
I think they sprayed him with butter in that quarter change.
That might help.
The elusiveness to break tackles.
He hasn't needed that so far tonight much at all, whatever.
But when you got to bring everything at the quarterback in the kitchen sink, trying to get a stop.
Looks like the Vikings started to send in number 14, Jared Mayberry, but he got called back out, so they didn't have 12 men on the field. So Mayberry looks like he's ready to go for perhaps the next play.
And
Bishop has the ball again. Is wrapped up. It breaks out of the hands of number 17, Woodkey. Officials timeout on the field now. Player's helmet is off. Number 61, Drew Smith, lost his helmet on that play, so he's got to go off. Ball spotted back at the 43-yard line, so they're back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 at the 43. Three receivers up top. Coleman hoping to get them to jump off sides, the Viking defense to jump off sides, but that doesn't work. And now we have timeout Troy.
Maybe if we preview our game of the week for next week, these Vikings playing against the Firebirds. I mean, who knows what potential that could be. I mean, who knows what Vikings team we're going to get in that game.
Yeah.
Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information.
And once again, a reminder of our upcoming schedules. September 29th is going to be Miamisburg at Fairmont. So next week we're at Kettering Fairmont. October 6th, which is week 7, Springboro at Miamisburg. So down here once again. Week 8, October 13th, is Oakwood at Valley View. And as Jared mentioned before, it's always been an exciting game the last 3 or 4 years. Always seems like a very tight contest between those two teams. October 20th, week 9, Fairmont at Centerville. And that's the big Spirit Chain competition. So I know both schools are already hard at work trying to raise as much money as they can for Bridget's Path is one of the charities, and I don't remember offhand the name of the other, so I apologize for that.
Kettering Backpack is what Fairmont predominantly plays for.
Okay, all right. And then October 27th is going to be Beaver Creek at Centerville, so that'll finish out the season, the regular season for week 10 here for the Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week. So we hope you stop back and check out those games as well. And we have 3 flags at the snap. So no matter what angle that was seen from, there was something not right. Looks like we had early motion on the Trojans, so that's going to bring the ball back 5 yards and make it 3rd and 15 from the 48.
Talking about Centerville a little bit, it is surprisingly 5-0 under a first-year head coach.
Right. Coach Brent Allery has taken over this year. This is his first season, and they're 5-0 so far. Next week, they'll have a bigger matchup. They'll be playing at Wayne's. That should be an exciting matchup there. I have to see how that one goes.
Coleman back to pass. Coleman going
Got
deep
a
to the
receiver, and the ball's about 4 yards beyond, and now we have a flag at the 40-yard line again. Flag on the far side at the 40, just there on the right-hand side of your screen.
Indication looks like it's against the Vikings.
Yeah. Was it holding on the receiver, maybe near the line of scrimmage, or not sure?
The 40, where's the line of scrimmage at?
No, the line of scrimmage was right back at the, what was it, the 43. Holding call against the Vikings. So that moved the ball back, picked up another 5 yards for them, so now it's 3rd and 5 from the 38.
It'll be 3rd and
5.
3rd and 5, all right. Got to get a stop here for Miamisburg. It's a must.
See Jacob Shoup at the top of the screen, his wide receiver. 2 men down near side. That's 21 Tucker Rasky at the bottom.
And
handoff goes up the middle once again.
Ooh, that'll be close. And
He's going to be about a yard short. Looks like they're down at maybe the 34 and needed to get to about the 33. So we're going to have 4th and 1.
Shoop was pulled back on that. He looked like he had the first down, and then all of a sudden you see him get plucked back. And Troy is going to at least line up to go for it.
Yeah. They might as well. Their chance are, even if they can surge forward for a yard, even if they turn it over, Vikings are going to have the ball at the 34, 35, right around there.
And they
20,
don't get it.
He doesn't get it.
Big
the handoff
stop.
went to number 23, Shane Shoop, and Shoop was hit in the backfield and dropped. I didn't. Let's see if we can see the replay. Was that number 48 for the Vikings? And that is Jackson Gebhardt. So that's the turnover on downs. Vikings make a big stop right there. They get pretty good field position. They get the ball at the 36-yard line, and they'll start out 1st and 10.
Passes have to go downfield. You got to get big chunks of yardage at a time, get out of bounds, save the clock as much as possible.
You got 9.5 minutes to get 3 touchdowns and a field goal, basically. Or 4 touchdowns. Pass goes number 15, and
he has...
No, it's waved off.
No, it's not. Well,
we have conflicting. The ref in the backfield says it was trapped on the ground and says no catch. The refs that were behind the receiver initially waved that it was good and completed at the 45, but the backfield judge who had the side angle view and was able to see the side of the receiver showed that he, I guess, trapped the ball against the ground.
Maybe
and
we
came
see a
up with
replay.
It. Yeah, well, we've still got kind of the back view. We're going to see the receiver's back from it and not be able to see the ball. But the back judge had the nice view right up along his elbow, and there's complete to number 26.
Dillon out across the 50 down to the 46.
He's stopped by number 5, Sam Jackson, and number 24, Zane Drake. So Jackson made the initial wrap up on him and was able to drag him out of bounds. So the ball's now across midfield down to the Troy 48-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the 48.
Vongsy back to pass again, looking to the far sideline.
And
he has the catch.
Oh.
He stays on his feet, Johnson does.
Number 13, Tyler Johnson with a catch. He's immediately hit and driven back a couple yards. He tried to move forward again, but then was immediately tackled.
Watch him take this hit and stay up.
Right there.
Absorb the impact and just maybe gain another yard after that.
Zach Boyer made the initial hit and really drove his shoulder into him hard, stood him upright, and stopped his momentum. But it's enough for 1st down. So they have 1st and 10. Looks like the ball's right on the 25-yard line. Bongsy back has a receiver. Almost picked off.
Ooh.
And that was number 22 for Troy. That's Kobe Feltner. Almost picked it off, and he probably would have had some room to move if he'd have kept that ball in his hands. .8:55 left in the game. 31-7 is the lead for the Troy Trojans. Bongsy under center. 2 receivers near side, looking to pass to the far side.
Almost
receivers across the middle,
again.
and it looks like it's batted down.
Was that number 22 again?
23. So that is
Shoop.
23 Shoop again. I don't know if it's just incomplete or if he got a hand on it and broke it up. But either way, incomplete pass. So it makes it 3rd and 10 at the 25.
3rd and 10.
8:52 left in the game. 14 seconds and counting on the play clock.
John Yerkins to carry up the middle for about a gain of 4, maybe 5 on the play. It'll be 4th and manageable.
Yeah, looks like gain of 4. They're down to the 21. So that's going to make it 4th and 6.
You're down 24. Do you take the? I would possibility to take the field goal now.
And we have an official's timeout for an injured player going off the side. Looks like number 23, and that's Shane Shoop. It looks like the ref was maybe looking at his elbow, so maybe he's got a
scratch,
a cut or something bleeding on there, oozing a little bit, so they'll send him off for some quick medical attention and a piece of duct tape, and he'll be right back out there.
Rub some dirt on it. Rubbing alcohol.
Oh,
Feel the burn. 4th and 6 from the 21. Single coverage down here at the bottom. Vongsi back to pass. He realizes
to
it.
number 15, and that is Quinn Keenley.
But a flag comes out. I believe that'll be defensive pass interference. I don't think the defender turned his head at all.
Keenley was the receiver, and that's number 20, Blake Burton. Let's see if we can see the. Yeah, looks like Burton
20.
got in there. Nope, sorry, 22 maybe. It's either Burton or Feltner. But, yeah, I think Jared's right on there. He didn't get his head turned around, just kind of wrapped his arms up in amongst the receivers and kept him from catching that ball, but that results in a flag. So that's going to give him 15 yards, and that'll be a first down. So they've got 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line.
So they get a first down without a touchdown.
Yeah.
You got to attack the end zone. You can't run the ball. You have to attack the end zone. Clark gets the pitch to the outside. Oh, no, that's Yerkins.
He moves down to about the 7. So let's call it, 2nd and 7 from just outside the 7-yard line. The first down marker is going to be at about the 1-foot line outside the end zone, just beyond the paint.
7:35 left. Vongsi
back to pass, looking across the middle. He's got a receiver,
Tyler
and he catches
Johnson with a touchdown catch. That's Jackson
16.
Myers with a touchdown catch for the Vikings.
Jackson Myers has it.
31-13.
Here's the replay. Watch across the Vongsi's across the middle. Jackson Myers catches it right there in the middle of the end zone, right in front of the goalpost, and holds onto it to bring it in. So that makes it 31-13 right now, and they'll line up for the extra point.
See the cheerleaders here running across the thing. Flag spelling out Bird.
And if they run the other way, it's Grub. So that's a nice advertisement for concession stands, too.
Half price hot dogs. Get your grub on.
Vongsi comes back in to call in
They're
the play.
going
It
for
looks
2.
like they're going to go for 2, yeah.
Might as well get as many points as possible.
Right. They need to do that. Although their kicking game has been good, but they need the bigger points. So if they can get the 3 touchdowns and the 2-point conversions.
Vongsi rolling out.
Looking for a receiver, and he's brought down in the backfield.
Point after attempt is no good.
Do you assume an onside kick is looming?
I think they're going to have to try it. Looks like we had, I believe, number 32, Garrett Jones, kind of leading the assault on that play. Student section, competition, or the hash tweets I've got. 7:33 left. Deficit reduced now to 31-13. So now an 18-point game.
Onside kick, touchdown, onside kick, touchdown. It's so much simple when you say it like that.
Right. That's all you got to do.
Uh-huh. We can game plan that up here. It'll be interesting to see how what way the Trojans will line up. You can't overload one side. Now, Miamisburg did have another kicker. I think it was it Barry that did the other kick earlier?
Seiler kicked one. Oh, I'm sorry, looking at Troy's list. Dylan kicks, and then kicks and punts that I've got marked down, but I'm not sure if they had somebody else out there before. They may have. Yeah, you're right. Earlier they did have somebody.
Maybe, I don't remember his name. And a high kick.
Medium kick, fielded at the 21,
off of
22-yard line.
His knee was down when he caught it.
Fielded by number 8, Jaden Culp Bishop. So it looks like they're going to mark him down at about the 21-yard line. I thought he caught it at the 22, but yeah, maybe his knee was down when he reached forward and caught
there.
it.
Oh, they are about 2 yards off.
So.
You saw that. Oh.
Yeah.
7:33 left, 1st and 10 from the 21. This is where Miamisburg got the pick 6 earlier in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Right about the same field position.
But I don't think Troy's going to be in a position to throw.
Yeah, they may just want to run it, grind it out, run the clock down. And, well, they've still got to get some decent field position to get the ball down. Don't turn it over to Miamisburg.
Bishop gets the carry to the outside, and he's hit immediately at the line of scrimmage.
That's number 20, Connor Harden. Yeah, Harden dragged him down and only let him gain 2, maybe 3 feet, maybe got the yard. Yeah, he picked up just a little bit after the initial hit, but a nice solid hit from number 20.
Something really the Vikings haven't been able to do this second half is corral.
Yeah.
You look at Troy plays at Tippecanoe next week.
Run up the middle by Colt Bishop. And once again, back out to about the line of scrimmage. He's at the 21, maybe 22, so not much of a gain, if any. Smothered by 3 or 4 of the Vikings. Say number 53, Cale Parkhurst, coming out for a moment.
3rd and 10 from the 21. Miamisburg needs a stop.
And there's the cowbells.
And the horn.
Coleman's back to pass.
Look,
he's being chased.
He's going the wrong way.
He's under pressure from number 52, Joel Elder.
And he slides down.
And at the 15.
If I'm Miamisburg, I take a timeout and save the clock.
Just over 6 minutes left, and clock's still running.
I guess that's why I'm not coaching.
Looks like Troy's going to send on the punting team.
You don't want to give Miamisburg the ball there.
Yeah.
Definitely be good starting field position depending on what Tyler Johnson can do.
Wind's picking up just a little bit, blowing from the far side of the screen back toward our near side. Flags. Long kick, and that's going to be fielded at the 45
Johnson
by number
stops
13,
and turns back
Tyler
this
Johnson.
way.
Johnson bounces off a couple tacklers, but he gets dragged down at about the 41, maybe 42. Looks like the spot's going to be at the 42.
He caught the ball at about the midfield, maybe?
No, he was back at about
45.
the 45, yeah. So he loses about 3 yards on the play. Corralled back to the inside by number 27, Austin Staniford. So Staniford made a nice play, was able to keep him bottled up a little bit until the other Troy defenders were able to come down and then knock him down for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Well, if Miamisburg can score as quickly as what they did on that last drive, all but gives them a chance.
Vongsi gets the play, starting to head in.
Coach almost walked into the huddle. Yeah. Would that be 12 men on the field? Play clock is down to 5, so the Vikings have to hurry.
Yeah. Well, they always seem to get the play off quick once they actually get it called in.
Vongsi going
back.
deep.
He's looking deep.
Hit as he throws.
Looking for number 11, and the ball is misaligned once again.
I think Barry let up on that one because I think he saw the defender coming from the far side.
Zach Boyer was coming in tight on the coverage there.
You see the end of this.
It looks like also, I believe, Jacob Adams, Sam Jackson, number 5. Both guys coming in. And then Derek McDonough. All 3 guys on coverage, and they were converging on the receiver for Barry.
Yerkins checks into the game now with the play for the Vikings. 2nd and 10 from the 5-18. Vongsi leads the team out. Play clock down to 13. 2 receivers to the bottom and to the top. Vongsi going back, passing, throwing to the far sideline.
16.
Caught by Jackson Myers and gets the toe down and gets out of bounds. Nice footwork along the side wide by Jackson Myers.
Here's the replay, number 16. You see Myers coming down at the bottom of the screen. Catches the ball just at about the 36.
Toe tap.
Bounces off number 22, Feltner, and stays in bound to get his toes down. So completion, a nice pickup for Berg. So now we've got 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 35-yard line. 5:12 left on the game clock, down by 18.
Miamisburg gets out of bounds, so the clock will start on the snap. Vongsi back to pass.
Got a
Vongsi
receiver
look in the
across the middle.
Tyler, no, that's
Complete.
Jackson Myers again with a big catch down.
And he's down
inside
to about
the
the 3.
5.
Big play, big pickup, 2 in a row. Boom, boom for the Vikings. Knocking on the door of the Trojans' end zone. Timeout, Troy.
Timeout, Troy.
Troy's back-to-back plays. It's like, well, what's my defense doing? But it's 1st and goal from the 4 with 5:06 left. A lot of momentum on the Vikings sideline as the team is starting to pump this crowd up.
Right.
18 points now is doable with 3 timeouts still 2. And you hear the cowbell eruption.
Once again, tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Fairmont, West Carrollton, and Miamisburg High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this and other games. So if you're at home watching this rebroadcast now, let your friends and family know as well. Yeah. Exciting game tonight. Let your friends and family know as well. They can watch rebroadcasts on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or go to the mvcc.net, and then they can stream it from their own home, no matter where they're at in the U.S. or around the world. Just click on, watch the games anytime you'd like.
Let's see, you got Johnson down here at the bottom of the screen with Myers and Quinn Coonley at the top of the screen. You've got to throw it a jump ball situation, let your receivers go up and try and get it.
But you don't want it picked off.
No, they hand
goes
off
up
to
the middle.
Yerkins. Yerkins up the middle, and Yerkins has a 4-yard touchdown
He's
run
got
for
it.
the Vikings.
Signal from the ref on the near sideline says touchdown. It's about a 3-yard rushing touchdown for Yerkins.
31-19.
And I'm guessing
Depending
they're
on
going to
what-
go for the 2.
The 2 would make it easier.
That'd be 31-21, give them a 10-point touchdown and a field goal to tie it. And it looks like they still have their regular offense.
Yep, I see
on the
Vongsy
field.
down here in the corner.
Okay. Yeah, Vongsy's getting the play from the coaches.
You see him, he's right there underneath the Vikings logo on the scoreboard, and there he comes into your screen. This drive has belonged to Jackson Myers. 2 big plays down the middle of the field, putting them into down to the goal-to-go situation.
And nice connections from Vongsy, where he wasn't able to quite make those connections before. He got it right on the numbers.
Vongsy throwing it to the outside to Tyler Johnson. He has a foot down and has the 2 points.
Got it. Receiver, I don't know if we can see on the replay, just down it's going to be at the bottom right corner of your screen. Number 13, Tyler Johnson.
He does. He gets the heel down in the back.
Jumps up. He's running backwards to catch the ball. Sees it coming toward him. Is able to go around the defender and kind of get it, pull it in, get his heels tapped onto the turf before he goes out of bounds. So the 2-point is good. It's now a 10-point game. 5:01 left in the 4th quarter. This is more the Miamisburg that we thought we were going to see, that we talked about coming into today's game, and that we just weren't quite seeing in the first half. So now you can hear the band getting into it more, the home stands definitely getting into it more. More people on their feet, and the student section just kind of going wild in there.
It'll be interesting to see, what do you do? Onside, or do you try and pin him deep? Your defense has. He stopped Bishop the last 3 times they've handed him the ball.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you're going to have to try and pin him deep.
Eventually you have to try and go for the onside.
If you can try and pin him deep and then get the ball, if you've been able to stop Bishop, then you've got the ball in better position versus trying the onside, because if that doesn't work, then you've got it at maybe, giving Troy the ball maybe at midfield, and you don't want to give them a chance to score again.
No. Miamisburg still does have all 3 timeouts too.
Looks like Colin Dillon lining up to kick for the Vikings.
Nobody really back deep to receive it. They've got Bishop back at the 22.
They're watching just in case it's kind of a medium kick again. That ball's going to land at the 30 and fielded by number 16, Matt McGilvery. McGilvery finds a gap, 25-30. He moves out to about the 29-yard line.
4:57 left. The Vikings need a stop here by their defense.
Looks like Jackson Gebhardt, number 48, helping make that stop right there. 1st and 10 from just behind the 30-yard line. 4:57 on the clock. Troy looking to hold on to their lead. At least hold on to good field possession.
Bishop gets a carry. Bishop tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he
Out
lands
to the
at about the
35.
35. tripped up at about the 33, went airborne for a couple yards, and then slid after that.
If I'm Miamisburg's coach, I don't know why did he not take a timeout. Maybe, I mean, unless you see what you defense does here on second down.
2nd and 5 at the 35.
I mean, Troy can still take 15 more seconds off the clock.
Colt Bishop in the backfield. Coleman in shotgun. 2 receivers top of the screen.
Bishop gets the carry. Bishop tackled at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets 2.
Moves out to about the 37 or so. And we may be seeing now
Timeout.
we see a timeout from Miamisburg is called.
3rd and 2. But there was still almost a 10-second gap between the end of the play and when he actually called the timeout.
3rd and 2. Ball is now at the 38-yard line.
If you're the Miamisburg, you have to pick up the first or stop. Get this stop. 99% guarantee that it's going to get in Bishop's hands up the middle.
Yeah, unless they want to switch it up a little bit and try and trick them a little. But so far, Bishop seems to be the main provider as far as yardage.
If I'm Troy, I wouldn't risk that. I
Right.
mean, Miamisburg's offense has scored quickly the last 2 times, so I say if you're Troy, you give the ball up the middle, and hopefully your running back can pick up the first down. If not, you put it back on the field for your defense.
You see the defense coach for the Berg out there trying to fire up his
I think
forward.
he just did all the homestands. Stand up and roar. 3rd and 2 from the 38, 4:10 left.
The feet are stomping. The cowbells are waving.
I don't hear the Viking horn yet.
They're trying to distract the quarterback. Coleman's back. He hands it off
Bishop
to Bishop.
does not get
Bishop's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
And immediately a timeout by Miamisburg.
It's going to be 4th and 3. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Lost a yard on the play. 4th and 3 at the 37.
Miamisburg's defense comes up with another big stop in this 4th quarter to give their offense another shot to get more points.
Both teams now taking advantage of the timeout to make any little adjustments that they may need to do. Check out MVCC.fans for real-time live scores or our MVCC Game of the Week games. Engage now at MVCC.fans. On social media, go to MVCC.social to find us all over. Follow us for updates all season long and join in the conversation using the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay.
4:05 left in the game. 4th and 3 from the 37. Troy in punt formation. Tyler Johnson going back for the Vikings to receive it. Do you try and block the punt?
If you can.
If you touch the kicker, it is a 5-yard penalty and will be a first down for Troy.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Low snap. Kick is off. Up.
Low kick, but a line drive. Fair caught at the 30. And right there on coverage was number 27, Austin Staniford. He was ready to drill number 13, Tyler Johnson. But Johnson wisely waved it off, or waved for the fair catch. So the Horde Vikings have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. They've got just under 4 minutes to go, and they need 10 points. No time for the 2-minute drill, and a couple of them back-to-back. Vongsy on the sideline with the coaches, getting the play. He comes back in.
Time to lead this team to hopefully a comeback. You've got, looks like Jackson Meyer. No, that's Quinn Coonley coming down here to the bottom of the screen. Miamisburg back to pass. Vongsy looking to go deep. Vongsy.
Oh, he's brought down from
sacked in the
behind.
backfield.
He's brought down at the 24-yard line. And that looks like, I believe, it's 36 or 35. 36, Joe Schricker, I believe.
Miamisburg
coming around
has
from
to
the
no
far
huddle.
side. Schricker came around from the far side into the backfield and caught up to Vongsy from behind and dragged him
Vongsy
down.
going back to pass. Vongsy going deep to the far sideline.
Picked off. It's picked off. Oh,
No,
now
the ref
they're
comes in and
debating
says
whether it was
no.
picked off. He hit the ground. Now the ref
Incomplete.
on the far side says it's incomplete.
Whew.
The pass
Maybe if
was
we-
intended for 13, Tyler Johnson.
Maybe if we could see replay of that.
I think it was Jackson that went in there, jumped in, caught the ball, but then as he came down, landed on his back and started to roll forward, the ball popped out. One ref said it was a catch, but then the ref on the far side said he did not have control of it, and it's an incomplete pass.
3rd and
So-
15 from the 25.
That would have probably sealed things for the Trojans.
Miamisburg needs to get out to the 40. Vongsi back to
Back
pass.
to pass. Under pressure again, dragged down, and throws the ball away.
Incomplete intended to Tyler Johnson, but that was just to get rid of it.
Garrett Jones in there, putting pressure on there, number 32. Helping drag Vongsi to the turf. Vongsi wisely throws it into the turf. He's out of the box, so does not get any sort of intentional grounding. So we have 4th and 15 from the 25 right now.
This is the play for Miamisburg. 4th and 15.
3:22 left in the game. Trojans trying to get their visitor stands to pump it up a little bit. Most of the visitor stands are on their feet. And now the Berg stands are up on theirs as well.
Vongsi
Pass
going
going across
deep.
the middle. He's looking for number 13.
Tyler
He
Johnson
catches
comes
it
down with the
at
catch.
the 42. Number 13, Tyler Johnson, turns around, gets his head on the ball. Vongsi makes a beautiful pass, comes down here in pressure,
I
right
think
in
he wanted
between
the
Derek
flag.
McDonough and Zach Boyer. Catches the ball, drops to his back at the 42-yard line, and picks up a huge first down for the Vikings.
Vongsi
1st and 10 from the 42. Vongsi back to pass, looks for a receiver across the middle,
Going to
goes
the
to the
far
far side,
sideline.
has a receiver, and
Incomplete.
it's knocked away. Intended for Dillon, knocked away, and now we have a Trojan shaken up a bit. But he looks like he's back on his feet. He's going to walk it off. Watch here at the top of the screen. Vongsi drops back. Receivers right up at the top of the screen. You got 5, Sam Jackson, and number 22, Kobe Feltner on coverage right there. And unable to come down with the ball. Still a nice field possession, or still field position though. 2nd and 10 from the 42.
Second and 10 from the 42. 3:08 left. 10-point game. Vongsi lined up. Where's he at? Oh, there he is, under center.
Johnson and Myers at the top of the screen as receivers. And we've got
Vongsi.
number 11, Thomas, down at the bottom of the screen. Vongsi passes up toward the top.
Incomplete.
Almost picked off.
That's where Tyler Johnson turns defender. And he's slow to get up.
Yeah. He's shaking a bit. He looks like he got hit hard as he got driven to the turf. See a nice pass right on target there. Just maybe just slightly beyond the receiver's hands. But he's shaken up a little bit.
Not moved.
Tyler Johnson might have had the wind knocked out of him the way he landed right on top of that other player. They were kind of wrapped up. So we have official timeout on the field while he's checked out.
Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or MVCC.net. Use the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay. Go to MVCC.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in on the conversation using the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay.
Tyler Johnson back on his feet. He was just getting up by about the time the trainers got over there to check him out. So at least that's good to see. He's not too seriously hurt. Trotting off a little bit slow. I think he might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. Just kind of catching his breath as he comes off.
He has to come out for this play.
Yeah. Oop, now he's kind of doubling over again right near the near hash mark.
Maybe cramping. It is still relatively humid
Yes.
for week 5.
A little bit of odd information. I've always heard people talk about eating a banana. If you have the cramps, get the potassium. Saw recently they said a spoon of yellow mustard will give you as much or more potassium than the banana will. So if you're cramping, eat some mustard or have a hot dog with a lot of mustard on it.
I don't
That's
like
supposed
mustard.
to help out pretty well.
I'll
Thought
take
that
your
was
word for
interesting
that
to
one.
read. That's I don't like bananas. So
I don't like mustard.
I'd much rather have the banana or have the mustard. So
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 at the 42.
Vongsi
Just over
back
3
to
minutes.
pass. Vongsi going to the middle
He's
of the
got a
field. Has
receiver
number
complete to
11.
number 11 at the 25-yard
That's
line.
Drew
Nope.
Berry. Oh, and he dropped,
He dropped
it.
it. From our view, it looks like he had it, but then as he turned, he dropped the ball.
And Tyler
Here,
Johnson.
watch the replay. Pass goes to Thomas. It goes in and out, in his hands, and as he starts to turn downfield, it comes out and drops to his feet. So that
Tyler
makes it
Johnson coming back into the game.
4th and 10 from the 42. Berg has to make the pickup here. It won't for sure be the end of the game if they don't, but they need this completion and first down pickup to really stay competitive in the game.
Wherever Tyler Johnson goes, look for him to get double covered.
You see Myers going to the top of the screen along with Johnson. And we've got Dillon at the bottom of the screen. We
Delay
have a
of
flag
game.
before the snap. Delay a game. Play clock ran down. So that's going to make it. Yep.
Miamisburg
We had
called their
timeout
final
called
timeout.
right before the flag.
There you
So
go,
they saw the play clock and were able to get the timeout called. Is that their final timeout?
That is.
So that's the third and final Miamisburg timeout. 2:57 left on the clock. 60-second timeout, so we've got just a little bit before they get back into action. It's been a exciting game after kind of a slow first half or one-sided first half. Berg's really come back into the game during the second half, made their adjustments, been able to make the completions. Vongzi's really gotten more on target with his receivers, or they've gotten more on target with Vongzi, one or the other, and been where they needed to be. So they've been able to come back a whole lot better in the second half. So we're within 10 points, and if they can make this first down, they've driven down the field pretty well the last 2 times.
And quickly.
Yeah, 2 scores pretty close back to back. And they're hoping to have another one here pretty soon.
They completed the last 2 fourth downs they've had.
Once again, if you're enjoying watching this broadcast on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or on MVCC.net, we thank you for tuning in, watching the Miami Valley Communications
Vongzi
Council
going
game
to
of
the
week.
far sideline, and it is
Tipped away.
Poked away, incomplete. And that one should do it for the Vikings.
Is that number 5, Jackson, batting it away? Pass goes up top.
Number 33.
33, yeah, John Werekamp. Jackson, I guess, was behind him, but Werekamp was able to get up there and bat it down. Smart play, rather than just tipping it up in a way where the receiver might have still been able to get it. He batted his hand and drove it to the ground, away from the receiver. So 2:51 left on the clock. Troy leads by 10. So they've got to make a few plays here, try and pick up a first down, and then maybe run the clock out. Man in motion comes toward the center, looks to the side for the play call. And once again, as we mentioned, if you're enjoying watching the rebroadcast, let your friends and family know. Have them check out the games as well. No matter what the cities are around the Miami Valley Communications Council is involved with many, many cities around the Miami Valley. And the games of the week travel all around the city to be involved with those broadcasts. So check it out. Let your friends and family know. And even if you've got friends and family out of the area or out of state, let them know to go to MVCC.net. They can log on anytime and check out the schedule for rebroadcast, or they can just watch the games right there on their home computer, internet access, or tablet, whatever they want to do.
Troy just being able to take time off the clock.
Yep, trying to let the play clock run down as long as they possibly can, eat up as much of that game clock. Just about 2:10 left on the game clock, 4 seconds left on the play clock.
And they
now they're
take
back,
a
they call
timeout.
a timeout. They let it get down to 1 second.
And that's
burn
Troy's
the timeout.
last timeout. You're saying after this, Troy's rest of their schedule after tonight, they'll be at Tippecanoe week number 6, week number 7, Butler home, week number 8 at Sydney, and then home for the final 2 weeks, hosting Greenville and Pickville on senior night. Looking at the rest of the Vikings schedule next week at Fairmont, that'll be our game of the week for week number 6. And week number 7 will also be our game of the week. Springboro back here at Holland Field. Then their senior night will be Lebanon in week number 8. Then they will finish the season at Beaver Creek and at Northmont. So really a tough schedule out for both teams.
Yep.
Trying to make that playoff push.
Like I say, Troy, their next 5 games are all going to be conference games, so they're looking to do as much as they can now, getting tuned up for the final 5 games to get their as many points as they can in the conference before the playoffs. Play clock starts. 2:02 left on the game clock, and it's running.
Coleman
has the ball and is brought down behind the line of scrimmage at the 40.
3-yard loss. 2-yard loss.
Is that number 42, Christian Nation, maybe? Looked like assisting on that tackle or making that tackle. Yep, number 42, Nation.
A minute 40 left, and they can take it down 20 more seconds, so about a minute 18 is when they would have to hike it.
Play clock at 12, 11, 10. Still running down. They're going to let it run down as low as they can.
Bishop gets the carry up the middle. Bishop makes people miss.
Gains about 3, gets back to about the 40-yard line, maybe the 41. So it's going to be 4th and 12. Here's the replay. Bishop goes up the middle, gets stopped just across the 40. Yeah, he gets to the 41 and then gets driven back.
And let's see, Miamisburg.
They spotted it back at the 40.
I think he got through a little bit.
Yeah. He got up. We could see where his feet and his body were, that he was at the 41. But they spotted the ball back and left it 4th and 12 at the 40. Now Troy's going to send in the punting team, it looks like.
Oh, that's too many men on the field.
Play clock at 13, 12, and still counting. Number 21, Tucker Rasky, is back to kick. And we have, looks like Tyler Johnson, number 13, back to receive. Rasky gets the kickoff, line drive kick, lands at the 30, bounces, rolls, and is going to be down at the 23-yard line.
22 seconds left.
Ball is down. It'll be first down Vikings.
All but over, so maybe a one last second heave and hope. If not, Vongsi will just take a knee, and they will go and start preparing for Fairmont. Troy will begin their preparation for Tippecanoe in the beginning of conference play.
So a Troy win tonight would put the teams even at 3-2 for the season so far.
Northmont and Wayne headed to overtime.
Troy looking to make a stop here. Miamisburg looking to make a big play. Receiver across the middle. Just beyond the hands of number 16. Pass intended for 16, Jackson Myers. And falls incomplete. Here's the replay. See the ball go up over there.
And that's sort of been the Miamisburg Vikings all night. Just Vongsi's putting a little bit too much on it.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was, but it looks like the ball may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. It looks like it sailed a little bit high, but I don't know for sure whether it was tipped or not. I didn't see a signal from the ref saying tip. But yeah, just a little bit off most of the game. These last couple series, they've made better connections. But you're right, that's been the predominant theme so far, is just a bit off.
Vongsi back to pass again.
Looking
Vongsi
for
going
13 complete
Johnson.
at the 35-yard line. And then he gets brought down.
Has the first down.
Derek McDonough makes the tackle. And the ball is spotted at the 34. That's going to be a first down. He picked up about 11 on that play. So it's 1st and 10. Now they've got the ball at the
spiked. Vongsi back
He's
to pass,
back.
fake the spike. Quick outlet to
complete
Clark.
to 24.
Clark making move. Clark gets to the sideline. No.
He
and
stays
that one
inbounds.
will do it.
Time expires, and your final score tonight here at Holland Field in Miamisburg is the Troy Trojans 31, Miamisburg Vikings 21. Teams line up for a handshake. There's your final score on the screen for our week number 5 Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week, sponsored by City
Miami
Barbecue
Valley
and Miami
Sports.
Valley Adaptive Sports. How did it turn out compared to what you thought? I think we're both a bit surprised.
We're both a bit surprised, but Miamisburg came back nicely. Maybe if they started their comeback a little bit more into the third quarter, maybe we'd be playing for overtime right now, but it's all who knows at this point.
Yeah.
Miamisburg now 2 losses in a row. This has to hurt their computer rankings towards the playoffs, and they have a tough Fairmont team next week in our game of the week. Troy, this is their 2nd win in a row, and they play at Tippecanoe next week. So Troy building momentum, 2 road wins in a row, and maybe a 3rd one next week.
Okay. So a much more exciting second half than what we saw in the first half. We thought it was going to be a bit more competitive or more lopsided on the Miamisburg side. But the teams came out pretty kind of flat in the first half. Miamisburg picked it up in the second half, tried to get the comeback, got a couple nice scores, couple nice series back-to-back. But Troy able to hold on for the win, and a 10-point win it was here at Holland Field in Miamisburg.
So signing off with the rest of Miami Valley Communications Council, the kids from Kettering, Fairmont,
And West Carrollton.
West Carrollton to Miamisburg. I'm signing off. Jared Bergstrom.
And I'm Michael Sliger. Thanks for watching.
Have a good evening.
See you next week.